Here we go now.
Here we go now. Here we go. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Kempire channel. Let me know if you guys can hear me, see me, all that good stuff, because as you can see, it's a bit of a new setup. Honestly, I want to wipe my camera, though. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can grab a little cloth. Oh, the cloth is right here. Okay. Hold on one second. Let me just wipe my camera just a tad. I want to make sure that everything is good and clear. There we go. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Do not forget to like today's video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Let me just double check. Can you guys see me? Hear me? Oh, okay. Thank Nita. Producer Nita says, yes, we see and hear you. Thank you. All right. Shout out to all of you. Thank you, J Poo. J Poo's watching on Twitch as well. What's going on? Beautiful and clear. Thanks, Fads. Thanks. Look, let me shimmy in the camera for you. Well, as you know, last night we had a special watch party on our Patreon. Let me remind y'all, some of y'all are missing out. You're not on the Patreon, you're missing out. There's a QR code on your screen right now. Scan it, join the Patreon. There are 3 different tiers. All kinds of really cool things are coming, but all tiers got to watch our watch party last night. No promises that will be a part of all the tiers in the future, but enjoy it while you have it. We had a really good time last night. You get my initial thoughts as I'm watching the episode with you. And I have a lot of thoughts. I watched it 3 times already. Not because it was necessarily good. If you had to rate this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 17, episode 16. Next week is the season finale. Then we have a 3-part reunion. A lot of things. We also saw over the weekend, Bravo accidentally leaked a sneak peek of the reunion, which gave us a sneak peek of the reunion look. So we're going to talk about that as well. But before we do, shout out to everyone watching from around the world and around the country. I'm seeing 7 6s. I thought it was an okay episode. But last week also was like an okay episode. If I had to rate it, I probably would rate it somewhere in like a 6.5, maybe. I think very much like last week's episode. It wasn't a bad episode. 6.5 is not bad. Out of 10, that's definitely not bad. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. You know, these lives are usually pretty damn long, so be sure to share the video. Sharing is caring. That's the only way that we're going to continue to grow this community. So share with friends, share with your coworkers. If there's a coworker on, near you in your cubicle and they're, bored and they're looking for a new podcast, they're looking for a new show, tell them about our show. Why are you trying to keep us as your dirty secret? Okay. Just saying. All right. Look, the comments are over here. The camera is over here. So I will not be seeing all of your shady comments. The other day I did a special Real Housewives video, and it was pre-recorded, and I was in the live chat with you guys, and you guys were cutting up. So I miss a lot. Yes, I get to see 1 or 2 of your comments. If you send in super chats, that's great. But I don't realize the amount of shade that is being thrown, not towards me, but towards the hot topics that we're talking about. So I need to go back and watch some of the replays, because y'all be cutting up in this comment section, which I appreciate. This is your community. This is where you're able to cut up, and you cut up in a way that's positive and fun and shady. You guys are never cutting up on each other. Well, every once in a while, look, every family fights on some level. We just have to learn how to fight, right? Right. Let me see if my iPad is updated, because I barely ever use my iPad. and I wanted to use it for my notes. I have the notes still here, but I wanted to see if this was update. Oh, and there it goes. It updated. I can use my iPad. This is an older iPad. I was thinking about upgrading. I was like, Kemp, you do not use your iPad like that to be upgrading. You always want the latest thing. Why can't I have it? See, I'm using it. Look, I'm using it. Matt Schneider says, I'm here for the shade. Aren't we all? I have a lot to say, but I want to say this because it's been a while since we've given you the bullying disclaimer. We do not bully anyone here. We're having a fun time. I know some of y'all feel like everybody's bullying Shamea. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Shamea and those text messages. Lots of thoughts to get into today. But before we get into the episode, I know you guys have been waiting to hear my thoughts on the sneak peek of the reunion. We won't talk about the actual trailer or the first, I think the first 7 minutes also leaked as well. We're not going to talk about that because we're going to talk about it when it actually airs. Okay. But we are going to talk about the reunion looks a little bit. I will do a separate video or live talking about the reunion looks. But again, seeing them seated in the outfit is not the same as seeing them posed up or seeing it in motion. We did get to see it in motion for the first time before actually seeing the reunion looks. Usually it's the reverse. I believe the reunion looks are supposed to come out tomorrow. However, I wouldn't be surprised if they come out today while we're live. But we'll talk about that once they come out. I want to do that separately so that we can really unpack and look at the reunion looks. But I do want to give you a brief view of the reunion looks on your screen here. Okay, so the theme clearly was Scotland. It was a theme of green, gold, and black. As you can see on the left side of the couch, which Porsha, Angela, Drew, and Phaedra. Okay, Drew looks really great. It looks like Paris styled at least 3 of the girls because I saw Paris posted that Chloe Bailey wore this dress that Drew is wearing. I actually like this dress on Drew, but it's, again, she's seated, so we don't have the full view, but based off the hair and makeup, Drew looks really, really good to me. Phaedra looks really, really good too. But again, we can barely see the entire dress. Angela looks great. I like the gold on her. I like the hair on Angela. I feel like Angela is still trying to find her style. You get what I'm saying? Because we talked a little bit about her style. And I've seen some of her style in the confessionals that have seemed a little bit more upgraded. And I like her to lean into more of that. And it's not because all of you think that she's like 56 years old. She isn't. Because Angela got the body. But Angela could wear a lot of different things. I don't need to see Angela in like these mini skirts and things like that. And I'm not saying because she can't wear it. What I'm saying is because I don't think that's who she really is. You know what I mean? And I want her to lean into being who she really is. Okay? So let me go back to the image. I mean, I'm not surprised that Porsha looks amazing. Porsha's hair, makeup, this green flowy dress. I have to see her standing in this, but I can already tell Porsha slayed it. I don't think that we are surprised that Porsha slayed when it comes to this look. For me, on this side of the couch right now, just based on what we're seeing from them sitting down, my favorite looks would be Porsha and Drew. Let's look on the other side of the couch. And if you saw the trailer, you heard what Pinky said about going to the bathroom. And based off the picture, people are saying that they think Pinky's the one that was pregnant. Wouldn't it be shocking if Pinky says, I'm not pregnant? So I don't want to speculate any further than that. But I guess all the signs are saying that Pinky's the one that's pregnant, possibly. Okay, so on the other side of the couch, on the right side of the couch, we have K. Michelle. We have the Wicked Witch of the East. And we have Shamea, and then we have a very fabulous Pinky. Pinky looks like money right now. She looks fabulous. She looks like she's giving rich auntie. I love that for her. And based off of now, we're at the end of the season. How do you guys feel about the newbies, K. Michelle and Pinky? I think Pinky really delivered this season. I know people find her polarizing. Some people find her annoying, but that we're talking about the bigger picture of the show. Did she actually bring something to the table? Even if it was tacky fashions at one particular point, she talked a lot about her bankruptcy, but that's what she was really going through. If for me, she's the only one that had like a really fleshed out storyline. And that could be the producer in her, because we see a lot of people self-produce and they just don't deliver. Hey, Porsha. Porsha does not really produce well, okay? But Pinky does have the background in producing. But I also believe this is what she's really going through because we see it in the court documents. We see this is what she's really going through, okay? Singer DST says, I like Pinky. She made me laugh. I have to agree. She's really, really, really good. Mr. Melon Magic says that K. Michelle disappointed. I think she disappointed a lot of us because there were some of us that were open to K. Michelle coming from Love and Hip Hop and being on the show. But by the end of the season, I was never a part of the group of people saying, "Oh, get her off the show. I don't want to see her come back for another season." I was disappointed in what she was doing, but by the end of the season, this week's episode, she was making a lot of sense, and she delivered in her confessionals. Funny. I want to see what a second season looks like for her. I definitely think K. Michelle will come back for a second season. If she doesn't come back, it's because she doesn't want to come back. But she will come back because K. Michelle is about her money. She's about this platform. She knows what this platform can do for her. She's probably already see the transformation, even with people going against her and be like, what is the plot? This is all in your head. She's also seeing the other side of it. The white women love her now. And those are the women that are going to buy her country album. K. Michelle, they're not going to buy it. But I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I just don't feel like, yeah, that's the audience you want. But I don't think they may give it a listen. But your core audience are going to be the people like me that have enjoyed your music over the years, not just the R&B lovers, people that enjoy country music as well. You'll get a couple of them. I still think it was a smart business move for K. Michelle to do the show. I definitely think it was a smart business move. And I know that's what the motivation was behind it. Not only a smart business decision when it comes to promoting the music, but K. Michelle, a lot of times she makes her money, like a lot of artists, from touring her R&B music. So being on this show is a good, steady check. Okay? Do I believe she's in love with Dr. Caston? No. Yes, we know they have history and she might have love for him. I don't believe she's in love with him. She had a whole other man. I'm going to remind you, she had a whole other man that she was meeting with production with before this. And apparently an engagement was coming with that man. I'm reminding you, these are things she told on herself, which I can appreciate about K. Michelle because that makes her interesting to watch. But this week, I have to say she delivered in regards to maturity, shade. We're going to talk about it. Because some of the advice and some of her perspectives on Shamea, I was like, not K. Michelle making sense. Just saying. All right. As I do that, guys, keep liking today's video. It's easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well that recap Real Housewives of Atlanta. But as you know, that's not the only thing that we do here. We talk about everything in pop culture. So last week we had quite a few different stories related to family drama when it comes to Malcolm Jamal Warner and his family, Chadwick Boseman and his family. Also even had a Wendy Williams update. And on Friday, we had Dr. Frida here examining and explaining the Nolan Wells autopsy, the second autopsy that was done. She also talked about perimenopause. A lot of you wanted us to talk about that. We talked about all the recalls that are happening, the cyclospora outbreak that were happening. You can watch that now on our YouTube channel, but you can also listen to it on the podcast. So you missed a lot. And I even put a special podcast episode over the weekend as well. So you're missing out a lot on the podcast. So don't think that the podcast is just a regurgitation of what you're watching and seeing here on the channel. Okay? So make sure you subscribe to the Kempire podcast. All right? All right. And don't forget, the Kempire After Dark live show is coming. It's coming. Get your tickets today, September 25th. I know it seems like it's far away, but it's not. There's also a live stream option at the Green Room 42. So go get your tickets today. Ticket information, you can either scan the QR code on your screen or head on over to the description for more details. So back to the reunion looks. This is why these lives end up being forever, but which I don't mind. I know you guys don't mind us being live forever, but look, I can't be here forever because I have other things that I need to do. It's a busy week. Hope you guys are already having a fantastic Monday. So this is the reunion looks that leaked over the weekend. On the right side of the couch, we have K. Michelle, we have the Wicked Witch of the West, and we got the Wicked Witch of the East. We have the Wicked Witch from the West and then the Wicked Witch of the East. Sorry, Shamea. The East, West. There we go. No, she's a good witch. I'm gonna give Shamea the good witch. I need to see Shamea's dress in whole. first of all, Shamea is a beautiful woman. But Kelly always gets it wrong. I'm not sure how I feel about the top part of Shamea's dress, but again, I want to see it as a whole. I want to see a better picture of this. I have to say it's not a bad look, though. Pinky is definitely giving rich auntie. I wonder if those are real jewels around her neck and ears. What do you guys think of K. Michelle's dress? K. Michelle looks great. The bosoms are bosoming. So are Kelly's. Kelly she just can't get it right. I didn't have any hope for Kelly at all, as you can tell from her past confessional looks, like this greased up one or the t-shirt one, okay? Or last week when she was showing us her goodies, or should I say her not so goodies. Whoa, Kelly. I just can't. I can't with Kelly and these looks. Just not good. It's not good at all, right? This is not good at all. Someone said that Shamea looks like she's about to turn 3 mice into horse. Why are you 876? Kate says, someone says Shamea looks like she's about to turn 3 mice into horses. Not impossible. not she is the fairy godmother. It's definitely kind of giving that, but again, I'm not opposed to it. Again, I want to see the full outfit before I make a final judgment. But from what I can tell from being seated, Kelly still gets it wrong. Hair and makeup look atrocious. I hate to say this, and I know some people will come in here and they'll be like, "You got room to talk," but I also don't have a stylist on hand. If I had a stylist every time I came on camera, I would look. Okay, right now y'all just get my Knicks jerseys, okay? Because we're celebrating the Knicks all summer. Look, all summer. But I don't have a stylist. I'm not on television yet. You know what I mean? At least with everyone else, hair and makeup looks great. Kelly's hair and makeup even looks bad. And I'm sorry to the makeup artists that are involved or the stylists that are involved. Because one thing I've learned is that just because you have a stylist doesn't mean that you're going to look the best. Because remember, Paris, who's styling the other women, they look great. So sometimes it's the person. We're like, oh, no, I don't like that. Oh, no, I kind of want this theme. Or, oh, I want to look this way. Sometimes it's the team and the person that's the problem, not necessarily the stylist. Because that looks a mess. Like, really, Kelly? She's the worst dressed based on what we can see here. Who's the best dressed? Who's the best dressed? I mean, I think automatically people are going to give it to Porsha, but I need to see Drew standing up because I have a feeling Drew is giving them a run for their money. I like this dress, this black dress, and the finger waves, or not finger waves, like the frills in her hair. I like that look on her. Apparently, I think Paris is the one who styled her. Because I know Paris said he styled 3 of the women. And I'm thinking 3, I believe he definitely styled Cynthia Bailey. We didn't get to see Cynthia's look. Cynthia, you're going to have a big moment. We didn't get to see Cynthia's look yet. I'm thinking that it was Porsha, who Paris has been styling this entire season. Drew and Cynthia are the people that Paris styled. Everyone else looks great except, I will say, Kelly. Sorry, but not sorry. Okay. Sorry, but not sorry. All right. We'll move on. All right. That was the leaked reunion looks from the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17 reunion. I'm going to get into the episode now. So they're back from Scotland. I did see that Phaedra posted, remember what we talked about last week in regards to the traitor scene being edited out? Phaedra did post on social media, what you guys did not see on their Scotland trip. And she did post a picture of all the women in the traitor's hood. And she was in the center and what she had on was something that she wore on Traitors, but it was a scene that was edited out. I don't know why. That was the whole reason you guys went to Scotland. The whole reason you went to Scotland. It's also the theme of the reunion. If anything, y'all could have cut out some of those other things that we didn't need to see. I would have rather seen the traitor scene, to be honest. Right? Anyone else? I would have rather seen the traitor scene than anything else that they would have shown us. Not more than the Shamea versus Porsha fight, but the graveyard scene. But I guess they want to tell a full story. All right. J.I. says that Porsha looked best. Gadget says that Drew's bust is busting out of her dress. It might need a little something, maybe a little something. I don't know. Chris says, I wanted to see that. Me too. Hold on. Tiara says, I don't think Drew looked all that great. Too much hair down. Can't see the dress. Remember though, they're sitting. So when we see the official photo where they style the photo and she maybe has her hair back, she'll probably look a lot better. Again, this is why I don't really want to talk too much about the reunion looks, because when we see the styled photo or them standing up, it's going to look very different. Hence why some people say like you have to get the right sitting dress for a reunion so it looks great while you're sitting down. Maybe. All right, let me open up my notes, y'all. Let's talk about this episode. Next week is the season finale of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. And as I'm doing that, guys, be sure to, I didn't post the poll. Let me do that while we're live, y'all, because I want to see how you guys would rate this week's episode of Atlanta. I want to see how you would rate this week's episode. Let me do a poll on the live chat. And for those that are on Facebook or on Twitch, you can vote in a poll on YouTube. How would you rate this week's episode of RHOA? How would you guys rate the season? I mean, we're almost at the end. How would you rate the season? I keep forgetting that I got multiple cameras right now. Let me go here so you guys can see my face. Hold on. Boom. Let's switch up the cameras. Okay, multiple cameras. Let's switch up the cameras. Okay. Boom. Okay, let me just do a poll. And as I'm doing that, guys, keep liking the video. Shout out to our mods. Give love to our mods, guys. I don't see y'all show enough love to the mods holding us down in the live chat, because these lives usually have a ton of people. It's hard to do. And don't forget, we are also raising money for the LGBT Center here in New York City. I extended the live, the live fundraiser, because I want us to reach our goal of 10,000. Okay, I want to reach our goal of 10,000. All right, let me put the poll here. Let me go here. Let me switch back to here. Okay, this is better lighting. Okay, even though I don't have any lighting on right now. This is why it's important to have lighting. You'll see when I'm back in the studio how I can. Lighting is so important, because then you start seeing dark circles in places that you're not. This is why lighting is important. But I don't have the patience to pull the lighting out here. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me see what you guys are saying. Thanks, Innocent Instigator says. Shout out to the mods. Okay. Thanks for making it great in here. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. I know that's right. CC says I always speak to the mods. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Internet. Says your lighting is better. It's coming. It could be better. All right. It could be better. All right. Moving on. All right. Let's get to this, because Shamea. Look, and this is why I get so frustrated when people say the Shamea hate is so forced. There's no Shamea hate. I don't hate Shamea. I don't know Shamea to hate Shamea. Let's get that straight right now. Okay. No, I'm not traveling. I'm home. Look, I'm home. I'm not traveling. I wish. I need to figure out where I want to go next. My last trip was my birthday trip. That was May. I should be traveling more than I currently travel. Just saying, as someone that works for himself and can work from anywhere, I need to figure that out. So don't be surprised if you see me somewhere soon. Okay? Even if it's like a weekend trip, because I need to figure that out. But anyway, I've digressed. It's not about me. Right? Way of Key says the Shamea hate isn't forced, but she is aggravating me. I mean, look, Shamea, let me just talk to, and this is the reason why I bring up Shamea, because the very first scene that we get is Shamea in her lawyer's office. Okay. She meets with her attorney, who's handsome. He's a handsome man, but I think that man was fighting for his life not to look at Shamea's BBL body. Everyone on social media last night was reacting to how Shamea dressed for this meeting with her attorney. We talked about this a few episodes ago when she was twerking in a business meeting with the rum bum people. Okay. So Shamea wears this outfit, y'all. If I was in the studio, y'all know what I'd be playing right now, right? Shamea wears this, and look, the body is body. She's a beautiful woman. Let's first start off with that. She's a beautiful woman. But why are you wearing this where it's like it's not even just as a bodysuit showing off all your curves? Because there's nothing wrong with showing your curves, but you're showing off your butt, the way it's curving into your vajayjay. I know that attorney was fighting for his life not to look at your body. Here's the thing, as a gay man, I would be fighting for my life not to look either. And that's not even, and that's not because I'm attracted to Shamea. It's more like, damn, where do I look? Because everything is looking at me. Everything is looking at me. Like, Shamea, you wore this to a meeting with your attorney. This is probably why the rum bum people do not take you serious. So she meets with her attorney in this outfit, Maximilian. Go ahead, Maximilian. Maximilian reveals that the family behind this rum bum punch, that's not a rum bum punch, this rum that she's working on called rum bum, he reveals that the family has changed the terms of this partnership. So he's saying that they don't want to do a partnership, that basically they just want her to purchase the rum wholesale price. So she wouldn't be a partner in the business, which I could understand. But why wasn't this figured out first? Because we find out that she says she's invested 6 figures into this rum bum. How are you investing money and there's no contract in regards to a partnership? Isn't that the first thing that you figure out? Yes, you could have meetings, you could talk about the ideas, but my thing is, I'm not investing money. I'm not even talking ideas besides like some of the basics before we sign a contract. And this is why Gerald didn't feel like the business was good. Okay. Satra says, is he a financial advisor or attorney? He probably could be both, but they labeled Maximilian her attorney, but he probably could be both. You know, some attorneys play multiple roles, but I just don't understand why you would invest that amount of money and then you came in this. People aren't not taking you serious. And that's why I think why people, it's not that people are just coming down on Shamea to come down on Shamea, or they're being sexist about the way she's dressing, or no, because if you want people to focus on you and take you serious as a business person, they don't need distractions. Okay. They don't need to see your Fendi bag. They don't need to see your butt. They don't need to see your vajayjay snatch. Okay. They don't need to see your camel toe. They don't need to see any of that stuff. They don't need to see that. So I don't know why you're showing that at all. I'm so distracted by this. I was just like, you left the house dressed like this for a business meeting with your attorney? That Maximilian was fighting for his life. I kept on looking. I was like, he's trying not to look between the breast and between the vajayjay and the butt. I'm just like I said, even as a gay man, I probably would be trying to like look down, like, girl, like everything is in my direction. Okay. But that's me. Look, but that's me. All right. So we find out that they don't want a partnership. The Rum Bum family that have, they've been in this business for a very long time. They don't want to do a partnership. What they want to do is basically have, and again, we don't see the contract. We have to go based off of what they're describing. Maximilian says that they want her to basically purchase the Rum Bum, I guess, wholesale. I'm not sure what that exactly means in regards to meaning that it wouldn't be a partnership and she would just be paying them and she sort of be like a brand ambassador, which would not be the first time a housewife has done this. We just haven't had people clearly say it like this. And look, for all of you that say, oh, people are too hard on Shamea, what about Sheree? We've been hard on Sheree for a long time. Okay. But some of y'all say we were too hard on Sheree. It just took Sheree 20 years to produce She by Sheree. Okay. Sheree's like, how I get in it? Because so many people are saying that people are hard on Shamea when it comes to her business. We're hard on all the women that bring a business to the show and it never comes to fruition. Not a rum without actual rum. But okay. But no, there's actually rum, but without an actual place to sell it. Okay. All right. We do find out because she's hosting a party. Shami is hosting this party, and this is putting a bit of a snag in her party because she wants to do this rum bum launch, and she even had the women do molds of their bums. And we're like, why would they be doing molds of their bums? Why? Well, apparently we see later on is to do a rum bum contest. Here's the thing. They started off with the contest and we never even got to finish the contest. If I was in the studio, y'all know what I'd be playing. The poor horns, like, oh, like really? Anyway, so Shamea says that she's worried that Gerald's going to be like, I told you so. I don't see Gerald saying, I told you so, but I see Gerald's face probably saying it. I don't see him necessarily saying it. I think he kind of knew that this would pan out. And they flash back to the meeting that Gerald had with the folks. And he was asking all the right questions. And you see Shamea rolling her eyes. Girl, because I'm sure the 6 figures that was spent in making this happen was his money. Even though she wants to say, I'm not saying that Shamea doesn't make her own money. Clearly she does. She has the hosting gig. She does a bunch of different other things. But I'm willing to bet money that it's some of his money that's being invested. And let's be honest, even if it wasn't actually his money, he's paying for everything else. So technically, if she was on her own, she wouldn't have the funds to pay for some adventure that, some venture that could possibly fail. I don't know. But okay. And that's where we also find out in the scene that Shamea has spent about 6 figures so far on this rum bum. I don't understand why you spent 6 figures and the contract hasn't even been figured out or ironed out. Where was the 6 figures spent? With the attorneys, maybe? I don't know. I just don't understand why you've already spent 6 figures. Okay. Look, okay. Fine. Let's get to this next scene. So this next scene, before we get to this next scene, look, we got to pay the bills. Okay, bills got to get paid around here to keep the lights going. Okay, today's brought to you by our friends over at MyFitnessPal. Another quick MyFitnessPal moment. Logging your food is one thing, but here's something I didn't expect. After a while, MyFitnessPal Premium actually starts showing you patterns. Not just today, not just one meal, but it's actually showing you patterns of your eating habits. And that's where it got real for me because it started showing me things that I didn't even realize. How my weekends completely fell apart versus my weekdays. Or on days when I actually hit my protein goals, that I actually felt really, really good versus other days where I didn't hit my protein goals. I wasn't guessing anymore. I could actually see it in the MyFitnessPal app. And once you can see a pattern, that's when you can actually change it. And that's the difference of tracking versus understanding what you're tracking. Because as I keep reminding you, your nutrition is the foundation everything runs on. Your energy, your sleep, your recovery. And the insights are what connects the dots. Go to podcast.myfitnesspal.com and use code KEMPIRE, all uppercase, for 15% off MyFitnessPal Premium. Thanks, MyFitnessPal. And we're back. Shout out to MyFitnessPal. Guys, there's also an important thing to note with this. With your 15% discount with MyFitnessPal, it turns out to be $68 a year for premium. And as I said to you before, I've been showing you all the different features of MyFitnessPal. $68 a year turns out to be $5.66 a month for basically a nutrition coach in your pocket, keeping you accountable, helping you. There's all kinds of really great features. That also turns out to like 19 cents a day. It's really inexpensive. And shout out to those of you that have been telling me your stories that you've been actually taking advantage of the discount. Again, more information on MyFitnessPal and your 15% off premium is available in the description. All uppercase Kempire is your code. All right, so shout out to MyFitnessPal for being one of our sponsors for today's Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. Okay, all right. Let me see. Renee says, I agree with you, Kempire. When I saw Shamea with that outfit at the attorney's office, made me know something is extremely off with Shamea. Who would even think of wearing that to a business meeting? I keep saying there's something about Shamea that's never going to change, and there's this cringe factor with things that she does, and we see it time and time again. The bum contest, I was like, she just can't help herself, and that's fine. That's who you are. I just find it cringy, personally. Look, personally. All right, so then we get this scene with Angela and K. Michelle with their partners at the yoga studio. So they have this couple that are hosting them to do yoga and things like this. Was a really cute, funny scene. K. Michelle says that her toes are long, so she doesn't want to show her toes. And she says that she can play the piano with her toes. Okay. All right, what in the Claudia Jordan is going on with the toes? So Angela says that the a-holes are back together, and they flash back to when Charles and K. Michelle met each other. They had like a really good banter with each other, and we haven't really seen a lot of that since then all season. I like the vibe of them together. They're very funny together. Okay. Kate says that Angela and her are actually, I wouldn't say close, but they check in on each other, according to K. Michelle. And she respects Angela because at the end of the day, Angela's always going to bring whatever issue she has with you to the table. I kind of want to see more scenes with Angela and K. Michelle because I feel like we could actually have some fun with those two. But apparently, and they said this in interviews and things like that, that they really do vibe with each other really well. Okay. All right. So then they start doing the yoga moves. Look, pay attention to Charles Oakley. We did not get enough of Charles Oakley this season. Because Charles Oakley, between the side eye, he's supposed to be looking in Angela's eyes. He's looking at the instructors. And he's not paying attention. At one particular point, Caston is being put in a headlock. Like, that made me giggle to myself. Because they're supposed to be doing this move. And it looks like K. Michelle has Caston in a headlock. And the instructor's like, are you comfortable in that position? Because it kind of looks like you have him in a headlock. Just like. And then one other point, Charles is supposed to have Angela's legs in the air, but he has her legs on his chest, basically. And she's like, well, that's not the way you're supposed to be doing it. He's like, well, this is the way we're going to do it. Charles, you're not going to get away from these allegations that you can't stand Angela. But I don't believe that. Because Angela's a beautiful woman. She's a smart woman. She has her own. I believe that Charles and Angela just have one of you, and you probably know a couple very much like this, and I've said this last season, but a lot of y'all still believe that he hates her and that he's cheating on her. He has cheated on her in the past, admittedly. But I do believe that there is a sweetness between the two of them. And he's one of the only husbands that really show up for Angela during filming. Just saying. Okay. Now put those. Your girl Pepe says, quote, put those 12s up in the air in regards to Angela's feet. Aww. CV Nurse says he is so damn funny. I want to see more of Charles Oakley. It doesn't have to be a lot because we don't want it to, because, the more you see these husbands, the more y'all going to take them down and make them out to be the bad guy. But I need a couple more scenes with Charles because he's just going to be himself. He's one of those types of people. He's not going to put on for the camera. He's always going to be himself. We can appreciate that about Charles. No matter who's watching, he's going to be himself. He definitely tried to be a little bit better when it comes to showing love and affection to Angela. But Angela's like, no, don't try it now. I get their relationship. Would it be the relationship I would want? No. Because Charles is a Sagittarius terrorist. I don't know, but some of y'all Tauruses are out here dating Sagittarius. Well, God bless. God bless. Okay. All right. Moving on. All right. So Angela says, so they end up doing the yoga and they stop and they end up having a catch up. The husbands are sort of sitting there listening to the women talk. Angela says that Shamea is a professional victim. She says, I know that's your friend. And Kay basically says, yeah, that's my friend. However, I'm also fair. Okay. Kay says that in Scotland that Shamea, that her and Shamea disconnected. So there's a disconnection in her friendship, and she's already alluding to a conversation that they're going to have later on in the episode. Okay. So Kay says that Shamea feels bullied and hurt. And some of you have said that too about Shamea. I don't see the bullying. Uh-oh, Danielle says, Kempire, watch with the Sag talk. I didn't say anything bad about Sag. I said I personally couldn't date a Sagittarius. Sagittarius. I personally couldn't, but I always tell you, I like Sagittarius. Terrorists. I like them. I like their personality. There's almost a childlike energy to them, which I enjoy. I don't even have any Sagittarius friends like that, though. I don't attract Sagittarius. Terrorists. Foxy says I meant Sagittarius men. No, I meant both. I meant both. That was the one time I would say both, okay? But no, just saying, okay? All right. So Kay says that Shamea feels bullied and hurt, and Angela's not falling for that. She doesn't feel like Shamea is being bullied or in the situation. She says that Shamea is the one hurting people. I don't know if I agree with that, though. That's where I feel like Angela's focus on Shamea, that feels a little forced. I will say that. I will say that Angela's focus on Shamea feels forced. Anyone else? The hate, quote, the hate that people are giving Shamea online, I don't feel like that's forced. I feel like what Angela's doing with Shamea, and again, we only see an edited version of this, I feel like that is forced. But she says that Shamea is the one hurting people. Angela also says that until Shamea figures that out, she will be the victim in her own mind. I will say this, because so many people have been saying this about Shamea since last season. She likes to play victim. The more I watch Shamea on this show, the more I see how she does play victim, how she is a professional victim. And I don't know where that comes from or what that stems from. I have a psychology degree, but I am not her psychologist. We do find out in this episode that Shamea is going to therapy, though, because of this group. Hence why I said Shamea, if Shamea comes back for another season, again, I believe Bravo will bring her back for another season. If Shamea comes back for another season, Shamea is willing to put aside her mental health, her family, for fame. Because I keep telling you, she's always wanted fame. She's wanted fame for forever. She tried in the music. She's tried in the acting. She's, doing the Hawks. She's always wanted fame. This is the closest she's ever gotten to it. So she's going to risk everything, including her own mental health, which I think is so freaking sad that you would risk. You think I would put myself in a position where it's affecting my mental health just so that I could be famous? Just so that people could know who I am, even if it means that people think that you're cringy? Like, that's a whole other level. And I told you last season, I don't think Shamea should come back. Not because I don't want to see her back, not because, that the network wouldn't want her back. I said, Shamea is never going to change. And I don't see the fans changing how they feel about her. However, I'm not saying it's impossible, because we remember how Drew was in the beginning. And people have made a 180. I just don't see it, because the difference between Drew and Shamea, we've seen Shamea over the years. This is not our first introduction to Shamea. This is not us seeing Shamea for the first time. However, people did like Shamea as a friend of. You liked her because she didn't really have a lot that you saw. You really didn't get to see all of Shamea. Now you're getting to see all of Shamea. And some of us, not all of us, are like, I don't know if I like that. But here we are. All right. Thank you so much, Kendra, for the super chat, guys. Thank you so much for liking today's video. If you haven't liked it already, keep on liking. I can't see the likes from my vantage point, but mods, keep me posted on the likes. We definitely want to get a certain amount of likes before we drop the call-in link, because all of you will call in, share your thoughts. Kendra, thank you for the super chat. Kendra says, my mom heard one of your videos in the car. She said, he's so nice, always asking if you're okay. Are you okay, mama? That's hilarious. I mean, it is a mental check-in, okay? Shamea, are you okay? Don't forget, you can get your Are You Okay merch on the houseofkempire.com, or head on over to TheKempire.com and hit the shop button. Okay. The other thing on TheKempire.com, I hope you guys are exploring that. You can watch us if you don't want to be in the chat and you just want to watch from somewhere else. You can watch us there. You can also watch some of our past videos on TheKempire.com. Just click the watch button. You can also read our blog. Go to the story section on the blog. And don't forget, join our mailing list. Some of you already missed the mailing that I sent over the weekend. You're missing out on exclusives that will be coming to the mailing list. That's one of the first places to know things. So join our mailing list today if you haven't already. Head on over to thekempire.com/join. Do I have a QR code for that? I can't remember if I put a QR code for that. No, I don't. But it's okay. Just go to thekempire.com/join. Mods, if we can post a link in there. Also, the Patreon is here. The book club, I announced that via the mailing list. So if you missed it, join our Patreon. Our Booked with Kempire, our first book selection, is Brandy's new memoir, number one New York Times bestselling book, Phases. Already did the video. The video will be coming soon to Patreon. So join our Patreon today, patreon.com/thekempire. All right. Let's move on because I still have a lot to get into. Let's get to Porsha's photo shoot with PJ. So Porsha wants to replace the photos that she has of her and Simon. Those photos that she had of her and Simon, those are some huge photos. Honestly, editors, you missed an opportunity to give us the ghost of Simon Guobadia. That was a perfect opportunity for the ghost of Simon Guobadia to run through the house during this photo shoot. So Eric Robinson, who is a well-known photographer, he's done a lot of the housewives over the years, is the photographer that we see doing this photograph. So we get Pilar and Porsha coming out to do this photo shoot because she wants to have some new photos that she wants to post up in the house. Okay. They come out in these big, beautiful dresses. Okay. Pilar's like, Mommy, you got to push your stomach in. And Portia's just like, oh, okay, this is why I wanted to have a daughter. Thank you so much, honey. That girl is very much like her daddy, okay, in a lot of ways, PJ. So Porsha says she hasn't seen, they do the photo shoot, beautiful photos, and they get the photo shoot over with. Porsha's sister Lauren is there. They sit down to have a catch up. So Porsha says that she hasn't seen Mike in a while, but she's been, quote, swaying, with sway. But she says, but Mike checks in. I don't believe anything that comes to do with the Mike situation. I believe the sway situation 100%. And that's probably part of the reason why we didn't see a lot of sway this season. Pay attention to how Porsha moves. I think that's part of the reason why we haven't seen a lot of sway this season was because that's more real than her situation with Mike. Mike feels like he's doing a skit, which he's done many times before. That's how a lot of people know him. He's also done Ready to Love. I think Mike wanted to be seen. Okay. And Porsha wanted a guy to be seen with on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't believe this storyline. I believe it's very much a storyline, which made me think about what did Porsha actually bring this season. I'm not saying that Porsha needs to be removed from the show. What I'm saying is like, okay, if we look back over the season and last season, because a lot of people were very critical of Porsha last season, saying that she didn't bring it. She wasn't an anchor for someone that's so seasoned in being a housewife. She didn't bring it. How did you guys feel about Porsha this season? I feel like Porsha, I always go back to what Shamea said about Porsha, and I believe this was true, that Porsha is not giving us the real her. According to Shamea, Porsha said that they would have to pay her more in order to get that side of Porsha. So I don't believe what we get of Porsha on the show is real. I enjoy Porsha. I enjoy her confessionals here and there, but it's definitely giving more pre-produced than anything else. But when we look over the season, what did Porsha actually bring besides beautiful gowns? I don't know. I'm kind of like, what did she bring? I can't say that she was an important part of the show. Yes, we know because of the Shamea of it all, it became an important part of the show's season. But outside of that, what did she bring? The personal story was not landing for me. I appreciate her confessional. I think she's funny. But could she carry a show on her own? No. We saw that with Porsha's Family of Lies. The same can be said about Phaedra. But if I had to compare the confessionals, I preferred Phaedra's confessionals. because she made me laugh in there. But Phaedra's definitely giving friend of. Dare I say, Porsha could have given the friend of energy if it wasn't for the Shamea part. I'm asking you guys. I want to know your opinion on it, but that's my opinion. I kind of, after watching it for a third time today, I was like, what exactly did Porsha bring? Did she bring a lot? Because I think a lot of people allow Porsha to just kind of, walk around and be pretty. And that's it, pretty privilege. But does she really offer a lot to the show? I'm not saying she doesn't offer anything, but does she offer a lot? Is she an anchor? Are there any moments that stood out to you this season? There are some moments, like this episode. There are some moments that Porsha made me laugh. But a moment? Not sure. Okay, no, simply Monique says flop. Damn. Not flop. Not flop. Ooh, not me the allergies right now. Look. Okay. Okay, not me having the tissue ready. Okay, daytime talk show. Come on, daytime talk show. Okay. All right, don't start crying. I'll have the tissue ready for you, okay? Guys, keep liking the video, today's video. Today's our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. Shout out to those of you that are here during the live, but if you're a part... O'Shea, where have you been? O'Shea, who's watching from South Africa and has been a member for 31 months. Show says, I am liking and following from the bushes. I hope you're well, Kempire. O'Shea, I'm glad you sent in your anniversary comment. Because I'm about to say, like, O'Shea has not called in. O'Shea's been absent. We worry about some of y'all when we don't see y'all. For all we know, anything could have happened to you. But O'Shea, thank you for making yourself known to know that are you okay? Shout out to O'Shea. Watching from South Africa. I got to get to South Africa. Just saying. All right. Oh, and Data's coming from the bushes. So everyone's coming from the bushes. Data's a day one. Data says, Shamea proves luxury only fixes money, not the soul. Ooh, deep. Chasing fame when you have it all just exposes an empty space the spotlight can't fill. Not Data coming with a proverb. Wow. Data, who's been a member for 57 months. That might be one of the longest, if not the longest. But Data, even before this channel, was a part of our Kempire Radio YouTube channel. He was there when we interviewed Oprah. So Data is a real OG. Okay? He is the Nene Leakes of this channel. He is the Viking Gumbles. Data says Shamea proves luxury only fixes money, not the soul. Chasing fame when you have it all just exposes an empty space the spotlight can't fill. That is a word. And I'm saving that comment because that was a good comment. D, thank you so much for the super chat. D says, Porsha's post-divorce, she got the house, questioned her sexuality, and knows she doesn't need a man to support. She can do it on her own. Can she? We'll talk about it. Look, can she? Dina, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Dina says that Porsha was a supporting role on her own show. It's definitely giving that. Omar, thank you for being a member for 17 months. Omar says they all could have been friends, in my opinion. The only one that probably wouldn't have been friends for me probably would have been Pinky, to be honest. And part of me would give Kelly some of that, but Kelly won't even show the man that she's currently dating. So that's definitely giving friend of. We'll talk about that in a second. Hold on, let me see. Taya, thank you guys so much for the super chat. Taya says, I'm sorry, but Shamea is never going to be satisfied until she gets Porsha's fan base and life. Oh my gosh, not the Destiny swap. She doesn't see what she already has. She just shows off what she has. She needs to be grateful. That's a word, Taya. That is a word. Jess, thank you so much for the super chat. Jess says, Shamea isn't fulfilled by motherhood, and that's the real issue. Oh, wow. Nothing wrong with that, but she needs to be honest with herself about it. Wow. You guys are coming in with the word. Is it church today? Is it church? You guys are coming in with a word right now. Wow. Wow. Okay. Lord. But okay. Let's move on from there. Okay, so we have Porsha having conversation with her sister Lauren about her dating situation. So she's still dating both Mike and Sway. All right. She does say that she FaceTimes with Mike, but she hadn't seen Mike in a while. I wonder what a while is. She says she hasn't seen Mike. That's because you're not gonna see Mike unless you pay him Mike. Okay. Porsha says that she's still undecided and that her and Mike have great chemistry. Every time I see Porsha and Mike on screen, chemistry is not the word that comes to mind. They don't even have sexual chemistry, and these are two good-looking people. So every moment we see them together, I don't get even a sexual chemistry like, oh, they're sleeping together at least. I don't even get that. It's giving he was hired to be on the show by Porsha. But okay. Porsha does reveal that Shamea texted her to do a butt mold for her rum bum launch. And for those that were on Patreon with us last night, I said, why would Shamea invite Porsha to this launch? And look, it's so funny how the fans, the Bravo universe, would be like, you guys don't act like, I believe production forced her to invite Porsha, blah, blah, blah. So why didn't production force Shamea to invite Porsha to Gerald's birthday party? Y'all always want to blame production. I don't believe that. I believe cringy Shamea, even though she did what she did, felt like, well, it's a group event and I want her to be there because I want to make sure that it's actually, she's playing a game too. She wants to make sure that this is seen. Because keep in mind, just because you have a group event doesn't mean it's going to be seen. Hence why Kenya did what she did. She wanted to make sure that this made it to air. So that's some of the motivation behind some of these women. They want to make sure that if they're going to spend money to have this big group event and this big party, they don't want it to just be a blip. Because you saw how they do editing on this show. They don't want it to just be a blip. They want it to be seen. And if Porsha's there, she knows it's going to be seen. And maybe they would have had a moment. But let's be real. After what happened in Scotland, first of all, I'm not inviting you to anything. I'm not accepting anything that you're inviting me to. You lucky if I'm not even film with you. So I thought it was so strange and weird when Shamea sent this text message to Porsha. Hi, Porsha. In preparation for my Halloween party on Friday, I'd love to send my bum casting lady to your home. Really? To create your rum bum mold. Even Lauren, when Lauren was hearing about this, Lauren was like, she did what? She wants to do what? So Shamea continues in her text message. She is available all day tomorrow. Would you be interested in participating in the bum match contest? Here's the thing. Even if production asked you to send that text message, what are you guys doing? What would you do? I'd be like, no, I'm not inviting her to anything because I already know what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna mention that I invited her, and then I'm gonna look crazy for inviting her. Come on, Shamea, let's be smart. Because this is not your first time on reality television. This is not your first season as a full-time housewife. Even if production told you to invite her, I'm like, I'm not inviting her. You saw what happened. You saw what she said about my mother and my dad. Come on, I'm not doing that. But I believe Shamea did this on her own. We can blame production for a lot of stuff, and we will. I don't believe production told her to send this text message. I believe she decided on her own. And we will get to what Porsha said in response to this cringy text message because it made me laugh. It made me laugh out loud on Patreon. And then we had to rewind the tape. And I said, what did Porsha say? Porsha had me cracking up because I read it in Porsha's voice too. All right. So Porsha says she sent me that text asking me to send a bum casting woman. First of all, I feel like this whole bum casting situation was weird. It's not like it was casting maybe like your pregnant belly or something else. My butt, so that you could show it off in front of a group of strangers at your rum bunch party. Y'all don't find that weird? Ick? Cringy? Okay. No, Kempire, it's a part of the theme. Her whole alcohol business is rum bum. Well, first of all, we already said that was cringy. And then when she got up during the meeting with the old family, that's probably why they didn't want to do business with her. They were like, she is not the type of gal we want to do business with. You saw she pull up her bum during the meeting and twerking her bum in front of our grandfather. We don't wanna collaborate with a woman like that. Eh? Come on, Sam. Come on. Come on. Just saying. All right. Okay, moving on. I'm just saying, you never know. I can see them saying that because that's what I would have said if it was my Jamaican family. Because they're not Jamaican. If it was my Jamaican family, I've been like, y'all really want to do business with a woman like that? Gets up during a meeting and twerks in front of us? Do we really want a rum bum business? But the younger folks in the family probably like, well, guess what? She's on a show, granddaddy, that's going to get us millions. This could secure the bag. Then granddaddy's like, well, me not give her any portion of that. We can do we can sell it to her, but we want the business. Oh, Lord have mercy. Thank you so much, Stacy, for the super chat. Stacy says she needs Porsha for a storyline. That's why. In regards to Shamea. Tish, thank you for the super chat. Well, thank you for being a member for 32 months. Wow, Tish. Tish says Shamea knew Porsha would decline the invite. That's what Shamea was way of playing the victim again. Then there's that element. Where she wants to play the victim. Like, oh, I invited her, but she said no. Did we forget what happened? Did we? We must have forgot. We forgot what happened in Scotland. Aisha, thank you so much for the... Aisha, thank you for being a member for 45 months. That's not my Jamaican accent. For those that want to be like, that don't sound like a Jamaican. I was trying to do the man's accent, but that wasn't Jamaican. Aisha says, I need the accents to stay on. Nope. Look, nope. Satra, thank you so much for the super chat. Satra says Wendy Acefo's mom coined attention-seeking disorder. Shamea might have ASD. Why is she dressed like that in front of a lawyer? Shamea moves creepy like. Shadrika, thank you so much for the super chat. Shadrika, and for being a member. Shadrika says, I do want Shamea to come back and be a rich B word. Okay. Step on these girls, show the money, stop caring and apologizing, spend frivolously, live. I don't know if she's going to spend frivolously because I think Gerald gives her a very good life, but I also don't think she is allowed to be spending frivolously like that. Just saying. I don't know. But maybe. Guys, today is brought to you by more sponsors. Let's pay some bills and we'll be right on back. Support from today's episode comes from Square, the business platform that helps sellers become neighborhood favorites. Whether you're gearing up for a busy season or just trying to keep up with the everyday demand, Square keeps your business running smoothly, from payments and POS to online orders, inventory, staff, and more, all in one place so that you can focus on your customers, not your to-do list. Ready to grow or streamline how you run things? Square is offering listeners up to $200 off Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/Kempire. Again, SQUARE.com/go/Kempire. Start with Square and build a setup that grows with your business. You know, I'm all about the little details that make an experience feel elevated. And one of the things that I noticed recently at my chiropractor's office, they provide a bunch of different things, including Pilates, including massage. I noticed that they use Square. I noticed how seamless it made my checking out experience with them every week. Tap, done, and the receipt's already in my email inbox before I even put my wallet away. That's Square running quietly in the background, building TheKempire as an actual business, not just a YouTube channel. I get why that matters. When the tech behind the counter just works, the owner gets to focus on the customer instead of troubleshooting a card reader. Square puts payments, POS, and inventory and staffing all in one system, so a business owner isn't juggling 5 different apps just to open for the day. And they've made pricing simple too. 3 clear plans, free, plus, and premium. So you pay for what you actually need, no hidden fees or surprise upcharges. Square helps you run your business more smoothly, bringing payments, operations, and insights together in one place, so you're ready for whatever's next. Right now, listeners can get up to $200 off Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/Kempire. That's SQUARE.com/go/Kempire. Get started with Square and build a setup that works the way you do. Slot fans, the wait is over. Lightning Link is available online for the first time ever, and DraftKings Casino has it. DraftKings Casino is your home of a Lightning Link. New casino players can play $5 and get 1,000 spins, including 500 Lightning Link spins. That's 50 spins a day at varying values for your first 20 days. Strike now to claim your offer. Download the DraftKings Casino app and sign up with code KEMPIRE. Then spin Lightning Link high stakes anywhere, anytime. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia only. Void in Canada. Eligibility restrictions apply. Non-withdrawable spins issued as 50 spins per day for 20 days. Valid for select games only and expire each day after 24 hours. Spins values vary. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends August 23rd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're back. Guys. Shout out to our sponsors for today's Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. More information on our sponsors and your discounts will be available in the description. Guys, do me a favor. Do not forget to like today's video. That's another way of helping promote the channel as well. And of course, don't forget the Kempire After Dark live show returns to New York City on September 25th, less than 2 months away. There's also a live stream option for that live show. Last night we were on Patreon watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta together. So make sure you guys are following us on Patreon. A lot of cool stuff are coming to our Patreon as well. So make sure that you guys are following us on Patreon. Okay. All right. What are you guys saying in the chat? All right. I see you guys. All right. Let me get back to my notes. Okay, so then we get this sort of break in regards to, and some people are wondering, like, why are we seeing these little scenes? It's because next week's the season finale, so they're trying to fill in and follow up on a lot of the stories, including Angela's fan line. A lot of you are like, whatever happened to the fans? So we get to see her do a photo shoot with Charles. We see that she's already got in an order. She's only paid half for the order. She's asking Charles for the other half. I actually liked Angela with that big curly wig. I was like, okay, because Angela's a taller woman, so she can carry off, off a big hair. I actually like that. And I like the color that she had on too. Pinky's got her daughter, Diella, in the studio with Jazzy Faye. I guess she's producing maybe a song for her birthday. Here's my only concern with Pinky and her daughter. I feel like Pinky, I think the daughter wants to do these things, but everything that we've seen, we haven't seen any of the other kids. We have, but we don't see them regularly. I feel like Pinky might be pushing her daughter into these things. Like she's modeling, she's the brand ambassador for this. Now she's in the studio and she's like, louder. And again, Diella might want to do these things, but Diella did not look like she was having a good time doing these things. Okay? Miss Alex says, child, does Pinky ever relax? That's my thing, because Pinky is an entrepreneur. She likes to work. So I think she might see that Diella wants to do some of these things. She might, on some level, wants to do some of these things. But now, her being a Sagittarius, she's just like, let's do it all. You want to do it? Let's do it. I don't know. Again, we're only seeing a smidge, a chapter in these people's lives. But it's just kind of giving like, okay, Momager, is Diella having a good time? She's like, louder. She's like, It's my birthday. Louder. Okay. Don't put your mouth on the thing. There's probably been other rappers' mouths on it, which is true. Okay. That's true. You're right. Jiggle says Pinky is a Jamaican mother. You know. You're right. You're right. Points made. All right. Then we get to the scene with Aiden and Phaedra at home. I think he's getting ready for his prom. And he's like, "Oh, I smell like cinnamon." She's like cinnamon. You know, that's something like that she would eat. And then he says, "Oh, I want to smell edible." That is your son, okay? Phaedra makes a face, but that is your son, meaning he gets it from you. He doesn't get that from his daddy, okay? He gets that from you. He might get that from his daddy because his daddy does give Playboy, but all that little, Phaedra, ooh, yes, say Phaedra and all the little things that she says, he gets that from you. I immediately, when he says, "I want to be edible," I said, that is so Phaedra. Okay. Jermaine says, "I like smelling edible too." Okay. Look, okay. I don't know if I want to smell edible. I don't want to smell like food. Look, I don't want to smell like food. Okay. Oh, Omar says, or his older brother. Lord have mercy. We forgot about the other brother. Lord have mercy. All right. That is Phaedra's child. Okay. So K. Michelle and Shamea meet up. Okay. Kay is getting ready for her listening session, which will be the season finale, and where we see Drew takes a tumble. Drew takes a tumble at this season finale event. Shamea shows up and she says that she was fighting. See, Shamea can be dramatic too, because Shamea says, "I was fighting for my life in Scotland." Shamea, were you fighting for your life, or did you create this to a point to victimize yourself? To be like, "I'm fighting for my life." She's like, "I was fighting for my life. I was fighting for my life." I feel like I'm too far from you guys. I got to zoom in because I'm leaning back. Let me zoom in so that so it doesn't feel like I'm far away from you. Okay. Let me go back here. All right. Now I feel like I'm too low. Look. Let me fix it. Because it's gonna bother me. Hold on. Y'all know when y'all in a new space, you gotta adjust things. Okay. Oh, that's better. That's a little bit better. Okay. Hey y'all. Look, hey y'all. Let me just move this over a little bit like that. There we go. So I'm centered. Okay. All right. Back to this. Back to our situation here. Okay, so Shamea says that she was fighting for her life in Scotland. She says that the fun-loving Shamea is not here anymore. And that's what people always say about Shamea. She's very bubbly. She's very fun-loving. K. Michelle is saying that person is no longer here. Okay? She says that she doesn't want Shamea to become her failed friendship. So as she's saying these things, Shamea is trying to say, like, I wasn't the one that started this. She wants to accuse Porsha of being the one that started this. She brought this to social media. She even says to K. Michelle, "Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have said it in Scotland. Maybe I should have said it on social media." So she's not getting it. She doesn't get the fact that she crashed out. So Kay brings up some of what Shamea said in Scotland, and she's like, "You can't bring up. You're making it seem like that they snuck Pilar over to your house, and you were able to hang out with Pilar." And that's what Porsha was describing. She was saying that you're trying to use my daughter as some sort of I forgot the exact word, but basically she felt like she was weaponizing, like, "Oh, I can still see your daughter. I'm still in your life. I'm still connected to you." Okay. So Shamea doubles down that Portia's the one who brought up the moms first. She said she brought up the whole daycare of it all. Clout. Thank you, Omar. Porsha said that she was using Pilar for clout. So Shamea, K. Michelle brings that up. And she says, "You can't be doing stuff like that." And Shamea says, she doubles down. She says, Portia's the one that brought this up first. But that was at the reunion. And I know the reunion wasn't that far out. They didn't start filming this new season far after the reunion, but you've been around Porsha this entire time and it never came up. But now we're in Scotland and the season's about to wrap 3 months later, and now you're crashing out over this, that she was the one who brought it up. That doesn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense to me. So she said Portia's the one who brought up the daycare stuff, but what she doesn't clarify is that the daycare stuff happened years after her mom did what her mom did. Apparently, her mom tried to sleep with the dad, her daddy, Papa Morton, allegedly. I saw Cynthia Bailey talk on her podcast reacting to this week's episode, and Cynthia's like, why the moms got to be involved? She's like, I don't want the moms involved. I know both the mothers. They're both lovely women. I don't want the moms involved. How do you guys feel about that? You feel like, has it gone too far in regards to having the moms being involved? I mean, I'm not surprised that the moms ended up being involved because it was already sort of put out there. Okay. Someone said, Kempire, no, Porsha said it online before the reunion. Yes. However, remember what Porsha said in that post? It was because of what she saw on the episode of Shamea talking about her mom. That's what she was reacting to. And I'm not a Porsha stan. I'm not a Porsha defender. But we have to remember that's what Porsha was reacting to. And then Porsha talked about the daycare stuff on the reunion. Here's the thing where I disagree with Porsha, because Porsha said this in Scotland, that people already knew about the daycare. No, they didn't, Porsha. People were speculating about the daycare stuff online, but you brought it to the show. That's where I feel it's different. You actually brought it to the show. People were speculating online about it, but you brought it on the show. You brought it to the reunion. Okay? Okay. Moving on. So Shamea basically says that Porsha was the first person to bring it up. Okay? Shamea says that this stuff with Porsha feels like a divorce. So she gets really emotional. She says this stuff with Porsha feels like a divorce and that she's in therapy to navigate this group. And this is where I was like, okay, Shamea, so what is it? If this is affecting your mental health, this is not the place for you. If you have to be in therapy. She says this situation with Porsha feels like a divorce. She feels like she's lost her person. I said this last night on Patreon. I'm going to say it again. I do believe that Shamea was a good friend to Porsha. I don't believe that Porsha was a good friend to Shamea over the years. I'm not going to say what we're seeing on the show now. I don't believe that Porsha has ever really been a good friend. Let's be honest. We've seen the relationship between Porsha and Shamea over the years. Let's go all the way back. Okay? So she says that Porsha is her person. I think you need to be in therapy to talk about why you feel like Porsha, who hasn't really been a good friend to you, is your person. Why you would want to be friends with Porsha after so much stuff over the years. That to me shows a lack of self-respect. But I also believe part of why you put up with what you put up with Porsha was so that you could play the long game, as Angela said during the after show last season, so that you could be on the show. Because I just can't fathom why someone would want to stay on a show that's not good for your mental health. You have everything that you could want in life. People already know who you are because you've been on Real Housewives of Atlanta. You have your husband, you have your children, you have the money, you have all these other opportunities. You're acting, you're singing, you're doing all these things. I don't understand why you are fighting for your life to be on this show with a friend that really isn't a friend, that you are crashing out over. Again, if Shamea comes back next season, it's because she wants to be famous. It's not because she wants to be friends with Porsha. What other reason could there be? And I know some people say, well, Kempire, this is a great opportunity for her. Yeah, great opportunity for her that's affecting her mental health. So which one is it? What's more important, your mental health or being on a reality show? I know you're in Atlanta, so I know you're probably going to pick reality show. But, girl, you've done 2 seasons, though. That's enough to still get the level of fame and success. But as someone said in the chat, that you want Porsha's fans to love you the way people love Porsha. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's not worth your mental health. Because she literally is in this confessional crying, saying that it feels like a divorce. I mean, look, Shamea has been divorced before, so she would know. But I don't know. I would really wonder what the therapist has to say about all this. But that's me. So she says Porsha was my person. Shamea reveals that Porsha's text message. Let me show you Porsha's text message because they talk about this during her conversation. Porsha replies to Shamea's text message and says, "Girl, I'm not coming to your damn party. You are sick. ASF, meaning sick as F. Okay? Please move along. Enjoy." This, for those that were part of our Patreon watch party last night, y'all know I had a laughing attack when I read this text message. We had to rewind the episode. I said, Porsha, this is why you're necessary for the show. I know you're saying, Kempire, you were just saying she isn't necessary. But that was a moment that maybe said, Porsha, when I feel like I can't get behind you, this is when I get behind you. Porsha says, girl, I'm not coming to your damn party. You are sick. Please move along. Please. That made me fall out. I said, Porsha, thank you for that giggle. Anyone else? Because honestly, why would you be reaching out to me to, first of all, to get a casting of my booty, then to come to your party after you just accused my mama of trying to sleep with your daddy, and you try to use my daughter, according to Porsha, I'm not saying that this is true, you try to use my daughter for clout. You try to trigger me here in Scotland. That's what she said. I'm just quoting what she said. So Shamea sends this text message that you can see. Hi, Porsha. In preparation for my Halloween party on Friday, I'd love to send my bum casting lady to your home to create your rum bum mold. She is available all day tomorrow. Would you be interested in participating in the bum match contest? I mean, that's very short notice. Hence why some might say that she didn't plan to invite Porsha and production told her that she needed to. Maybe. So Porsha responds and says, girl, I'm not coming to your damn party. You are sick as F. Please move along. Enjoy. Okay. All right, Shamea, I can't help you, girl. I can't help you. I can't help you. All right, so Kay says she tells Shamea that she won't be able to come to her Halloween party because she's very religious. She doesn't celebrate Halloween because of the symbolism behind Halloween. And there are people very much like that. However, the fact that we get a scene with K. Michelle and Porsha during this party says to me, you were choosing Porsha. I don't think it had anything to do with that because you do eventually end up showing up to this party. Right? So I'm just like, girl, are we serious right now? She's like, I don't celebrate the dead and the evil stuff, and so I won't be coming to your party. Don't be mad at me. All right. Okay. Hold on. Superstar 7 says, petty Pisces like myself would have showed up with my mama at Shamea's house. Lord have mercy. Well, Portia's not a Pisces. Okay, she's a Cancer. But Cancers could be spicy and petty too, I'm sure. Oh, all right. Do you guys believe K. Michelle in regards to the reason why she didn't want to show? There are people very much like that don't celebrate Halloween. I don't know if I told y'all my story about Halloween. I was in graduate school at NYU, and you know where NYU is located, in the Village in New York City. And it was after work. I went to class. I was getting out of class, and the Village party, the Halloween parade, is right down there. All I saw when I came out of class, it was dark, and you know people get really into their costumes. All I saw were like all these demons, and I was like, I need to get home. It freaked me out. And then one other year when I went to the house, well, we went to go watch and we almost got crushed. So I could understand me not wanting to participate in Halloween, and I get other people do not want to participate in Halloween, but I don't believe Kate Michelle. I think she wanted to go film with Porsha, and she was not going to show up at this event. She does eventually show up, and I don't believe it was Dr. Caston that convinced her. I believe production probably told her. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, now you believe production? Yeah, because production is producing now. Like, oh, we need you to show up at this scene because this other scene did not hit the way we thought it was going to hit, or the scene we're currently filming is not hitting. So, okay, we need you to show up there. That's where I believe production will step in. Just saying. What do you guys think? Guys, do me a favor. Keep liking today's video. Mods, can you let me know how many likes we've actually hit? Guys, don't forget, you can also hear our live recaps and special episodes. I dropped a special episode over the weekend on the podcast. While you're there, be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. If you're a podcast baddie, let me know. I do owe our Club Kempire baddies a juicy episode. Maybe I'll get to it this week. No promises. I got a lot coming up. Okay. But there's a lot of stuff happening over there on the Patreon, including our book club. Our book club is coming to Patreon. We're talking about the Brandy book. So join our Patreon today, patreon.com/TheKempire. A lot of really cool things are coming there. All right. All right. For those that may have missed it, we did talk about the reunion looks. The reunion looks leaked over the weekend. They weren't supposed to leak. You can see them here. Who was your best dress? I already know who's my worst dress. Kelly, like, really? Like, girl, like, I want better for you. I do. But I can't want better for you than yourself. But then you also give us this moment with your legs in the air showing your coochie crack. Okay? Girl. Look, girl. All right. So then we get Drew reuniting with Derwin. Pooch hole. Okay? She reunites with him. As you know, if you watch the game, everyone's still mad at Drew Sidora because she played herself on this show and cheated with Derwin. So people still hate on her for that. But apparently they're going to be doing this stage play together. One thing I got to give Drew is that she's turned this opportunity into work for herself. No matter how you feel about the work, her being a 2B this or 2B that, it doesn't matter. It's paying. It's money for her. And I'm sure her being on this show has helped launch other opportunities for her. And she's actually a good actress. Okay, even on this show. Right, true. So she's running through lines over FaceTime with Pooch, and then she talks about their history, and she's like, it's been like almost 2 decades. I can't believe that. They've brought the game back so many damn times, too. Since then. Aren't they bringing it back again? So I don't know. They need to just leave it alone. Okay, but she's going to reunite with him on this new project. Okay, but Drew also gives us a life update that she's preparing for court because Ralph wants primary custody of the kids. I don't think Ralph has primary custody of the kids right now over the summer while they're not in school. But remember, we did a report that the reason why he ended up getting primary custody was because, allegedly, according to Ralph, Drew was bringing the children to school late consistently. I'm going to say allegedly, but I'm sure the school probably confirmed that. And that's why the judge gave him primary custody. And she had to move out of the house. But they finalized their divorce. They've come to a settlement. She has to move out of the house. But he also has to pay her interest, like a 6-figure sum in interest and equity of the home. Okay. But they also were back in court, like shortly after finalizing their divorce. And basically, they were accusing each other of leaking their divorce details to the blogs. However, TMZ was like, well, no, this is public information. So I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm sure during the reunion, we will get an update on where they are with co-parenting. They've got young kids. They need to figure it out. I'm tired of the divorce aspect of it all. Even though when we look at Drew's storyline this season, ain't much going on with Drew. Right? Not much went on with Drew this season. I didn't care about the black of it all. This Terry of it all. Do you guys believe at the end of this episode that Drew orchestrated the horse situation? At first, I didn't believe that she did, but why would he bring a horse if he had to know her costume? Because apparently they went on a date. They tried to go on a date and he stood her up. Every time she's around him, though, it's like she doesn't like him, but she acted that way around Black too. So now I'm thinking, the more I think about it, like, well, how would he know that your costume was a whore? I mean, she could have mentioned to him. She could have still been texting with him. I don't know. But I also feel, again, very much like Porsha, she's willing to produce moments and hire someone to be her leading man or the guy chasing her on the show. And he's over there in Atlanta and he's willing because he wants to be on reality television. Drew could do so much better. Drew could do so much better. I don't know. I don't know what to believe in regards to this, but apparently the ladies didn't believe it either. They're like, did Drew set this up? I don't know. Do you guys believe she set this up? Because how would he know that she was dressed as Beyonce? She looked great though, right? Drew's costume looked great. Hair, makeup looked great. But how would he know about the horse? Unless she said it to him in passing. I don't know. But a lot of these ladies are giving us forced, produced, pre-produced storylines. But okay. All right. Oh yeah. Ruth says that her stylist surprised her, so maybe he told Terry about the. But why would the stylist? I'll be mad at the stylist. Stylist, you're gonna get fired. Clearly, I'm not interested in this man. Why do you keep? Because even the stylist said on social media that Drew wasn't interested in this man when Nene tried to claim this man. You know, everybody wants my leftovers. The stylist was the one who came out and said that Drew wasn't interested. So why would you set her up with this man showing up at this situation? You messy gays. Okay. April says, my friend said, goodness, she got on some big draws. You know what? Goodbye, y'all. Let me say thank you, guys. If you're just joining us, keep liking today's video. We are going to take some callers in just a moment. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to drop the call-in link for our Royal Court and Senior Royals on YouTube. I will drop the call-in link when we get to... How many likes are we at, mods? We already have 2,200 people watching, and then so many other people that end up watching later. So keep liking the video. Live well, LA. Let me shimmy for the $20. Thank you for the super chat. Live well says, Kemp nailed it. Shamea doesn't have access to the money. She can live in the house and get a car, gift, but it's clear that that is not her money. Hence, why we never see her living like we want to see. Yeah, I'm sure he controls that money. He doesn't seem like he's a frivolous spender as well, but I'm sure she still is able to get the things that she wants, but access to the money. Sweet tea. Renee, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me shimmy for the super chat. Renee, thank you for the super chat. Renee says Shamea needs to stay in therapy so that she can learn to live her fabulous life without Porsha. And just live your fabulous life. Not to say, look, here's the thing. I know we talk about this all the time, and I know the fans say this all the time. Money doesn't make you happy. And this is a clear example of that. Just because you have money doesn't mean that you're going to be happy. It can add to your life, but it's not going to make you happy. Just Mary, thank you so much for being a member for 52 months. Everyone say happy anniversary to Just Mary. Just Mary says, Shamea's pursuit of fame feels more desperate than genuine. She'll likely always be known as Porsha's ex-friend. She'll ride that wave for relevancy. And there it is. Taya says, is it friendship or was she in love with Porsha? Oh my God. How are you doing? What do you guys think? I want to leave that to y'all. Do y'all think that she was in love with Porsha? Toya, happy anniversary. 17 months of being a member here on the channel. Toya says Shamea had a lapse in memory. Not a lapse in memory. Johnny, thank you so much for the super chat. Johnny says, why did Kasten show up to the Halloween party as a zombie and K. Michelle didn't dress in a costume? I hate y'all. Johnny. And now I can't unsee it. Johnny. Is that Johnny for the one that tried to sue Candy? Is that the same Johnny? Just saying. All right. So we then have this scene. guys are just joining us, we're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. Then we have this scene with Porsha surprising her mom with her new home. Beautiful moment. We'll just say that, right? Beautiful moment. Her mom is so surprised. They walk in and she surprises her mom. Porsha says she sold her Duluth home. She had $1 million in equity. So she bought her mom a new home. Because one of the questions I had, and we've been asking when she announced that she was selling this home, was, so where's your mama going to live? Like, where's your mom living? I thought mama was living in the house on one of the white couches at Simon's house, and one of the white couches eating pepperoni pizza. But no, Porsha bought this house all cash and surprised her mom. Beautiful moment. Beautiful moment. But this house is clearly smaller. But her mom, it's just her mom. Her mom doesn't need a big old house. And she probably didn't need this 8,000 square foot home. Okay? It was a beautiful home. This is a beautiful home. A beautiful gesture. You know, Porsha doesn't play about her mama. She reminds us in the scene. This is why she's like, people know I don't play about my mother or Pilar. They're the most important people to me in this world. Dennis, why are you looking this way, Dennis, this season? Are you going through something? Maybe Dennis is going through something. So let's give some sympathy here. Dennis, are you okay? Because I'm not understanding the turban, the beard, the teeth, or the tight pants. Dennis, are you okay? Because, you know, sometimes when people are going through things, you can see it in how they dress. So I just want to give some grace because I'm not understanding. Because I can understand maybe one time they filmed and maybe he wasn't looking his best. The turban, the beard, the teeth, and the tight pants, and the jacket. The jacket looked like it belonged to Porsha. I'm not understanding the style either. But maybe he's going through something. Okay? He can't get Porsha. Porsha don't want him no more. All right? So Porsha said that's why she invited him to this celebration, because he loves her mom. He's the father of her child. They flash back because they're giving us a full. This is Porsha producing a moment, because she also had to give us the update on, okay, what's going on with the house? Where's your mama going to live? Because everyone's going to ask that question. Of course, Porsha's going to take care of her mama. She bought her mama this house. I think it's a beautiful gesture. All cash. Her mama, there's no mortgage on this house. So her mother has this beautiful home. It looks like it was a 3-bedroom, the walk-in closet. Fantastic. Fantastic. Beautiful moment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Belly says, Lord, poor Dennis. Kemp just read him. Are you okay, Dennis? Seriously. Okay. And says, but she treat his mom like ish. I don't know if it's gotten better, but everyone will always go back to what we saw in Portia's Family of Lies and her trying to hit the mama over the head with a boom mic. Okay. All right. Chef Lorraine says, no, Dennis is not okay. Sway got him shook. I think so. Something's going on with Dennis. And maybe they'll talk about it during the reunion. But something's going on with Dennis. He does not look himself. And look, I'm not saying that Dennis was any prize or looked any better before, but he did not look unkempt. Okay? Just saying. Reba, thank you so much for super. Reba says, haven't watched the episode yet. Love from Tampa. What's going on, Reba? You know, I've never been to Tampa. I really need to go down and do an investigation on Ralph. Not play. J.I., thank you so much for the super chat. Let me read this chat because you know J.I. sometimes. J.I. says, we love seeing Porsha overcome adversity and grow into the success, $10 million in sales. You are playing over here, J.I. I can read the sarcasm. $10 million in sales, go naked businesswoman that can buy her mom a house while Kelly is renting from Victim. Porsha, the anchor. There is so much sarcasm in here, but I'm going to let you give Porsha this moment, okay? Okay, $10 million in sales. Come on. Come on, Porsha. Come on, P. Willie. Come on, Prenup P. Here's the thing. I said this last time, I'm going to say it again. I know Simon is probably so mad he signed that prenuptial agreement. because the way Porsha scammed him, allegedly, out of that $7 million home, Porsha didn't put any money into this home. Porsha didn't do the down payment, but she did. She was smart and she put it in the prenuptial agreement. So Porsha got the $7 million house without having to do anything in order to do it. Okay? But she got it in the prenuptial agreement, even though he tried to fight that prenuptial agreement. I can't be mad at it because I feel like he probably wanted to scam her, but she got him good. But damn. Motril says Porsha won. LMAO. Exactly. The scammer got scammed, Mr. Melon Magic says. All right. Faith says, I'm like K. Michelle, I don't do Halloween. Miss Alex says, bling, bling. Simon is mad. You know he's mad as hell that he got scammed and keeps losing in court. Even though there's multiple liens on the home right now. So, good for Porsha, though. I can't be mad at it. But every time I see her in the home, that's what I think of. I'm like, damn, she really scammed this man out of the home. And she pretended like this is her home. But good for her. I mean, it is her home, right? It is her home. All right. Look, all right. K. Michelle was playing at not doing Halloween. I don't know. I didn't believe it. I'll just say that. All right. So the Porscha's surprise for her mom. Beautiful moment. Okay. I just want to see if there's anything else that I missed. All right. Shamea's Halloween party starts. So we segue to Shamea's Halloween party is also a launch for her rum bum. Okay. So one of Shamea's partners is there. So I guess she had a partner in this rum bum situation. Her partner reveals that they are going to keep the partnership. So that was good news for Shamea. They're going to keep the partnership, but they're going to separate some of the things. So look, to me, that was such a vague way of describing it. So we don't know what's going to happen with this rum bum punch or whatever it may be. Okay. So Shamea talks about this in her confessional, and she's like, no matter what happens, I'm still, because she's feeling like Gerald's going to be like, I told you so. She's like, I'm still laying next to Gerald Mwangi in bed. Why did the editors cut to a scary moment with the monster after her talking about sleeping in bed with Gerald? Y'all are so damn shady, editors. I am not one of the people that has said that there's anything bad looking about Gerald, but y'all are just leaning into what people have been saying about Gerald. Y'all are terrible. The cutaway was terrible. All right. So she says she's still in bed with him. All right. Cynthia arrived. I have to say, I like Cynthia's costume because it had multiple meanings. First, it was a cute costume. She looks great in it. And she says, I am the glue child. I'm bringing everybody together. Okay. What did you guys think of the costumes? What did you think of Shamea's costume? She's playing as an avatar. I think her makeup looked great. The rest of the costume felt a little Party City. Pinky and Derek's costume. Pinky could not even zip up the back of her dress. Did y'all notice that? The back of her dress was basically half open. Like, I feel like one wrong move, the dress would have came off. Okay. And maybe that's what happened. That's why allegedly she might be pregnant. We barely heard from Derek during that moment. We saw Derek there, but we barely heard from him. Shamea, you're not going to get away from these accusations that you play victim. Because Shamea, when talking about who she invited to the party, she's like, I invited everybody to the party besides the big old FU one. And they were like, is that what she said? Basically, because why are you inviting me to this party? Why are you inviting me to this party? Okay. And then Porsha said, girl, I'm not coming to your damn party. You are sick as please move along. Enjoy. Okay. Porsha says, I'm not coming to your party. What is wrong with you? Why would I come to your party? All right. Who had the best costume? I mean, I like Drew's costume, but it wasn't very, original. But it looked good on her. I liked Cynthia's costume. I liked Shamea's makeup, a part of her costume. Um, did you guys like Jarvis's costume? So Kelly arrives and she's Superwoman, and Jarvis is there with a mask on. Like a full mask. Like we can't see any part. We don't see hair. We don't see anything. And even when he takes the mask, and I had to put two and two together that when we saw this other guy talking to the women, I was like, oh my God, that's Jarvis. Because he had another hooded mask on. And I was like, what is going on right now? So Kelly says that she's the one that's hiding Jarvis. She's hiding Jarvis, but she's not hiding her snatch. She's hiding Jarvis. Jarvis arrives and he's got a whole mask on. So we can't see any part of Jarvis. Okay? So Kelly basically, Phaedra's just like, I mean, I saw Jarvis for myself, and he's actually a good-looking guy. But why can't he show himself? Is he hiding from creditors? Or maybe he's hiding from Kelly's ex. Kelly says she's the one hiding Jarvis. However, she also wants to hide him from her ex and what she's going through. I don't get that logic. I don't get that. You're hiding the ex, but you're not hiding your snatch. I don't get it. It's not making sense to me. Is it making sense to anyone else? It's not making sense to me. At all. Not in the least bit. Even Pinky makes a joke. Is the man married? She says Jarvis is not married. Kelly says in her confession he's not married. I would have never made Kelly full-time. And remember, there was rumors that she might have been part-time. But then there were other rumors that they wanted to have as many housewives because there wasn't enough for the season. Like people it wasn't really fleshed out enough in regards to the season. That was the word on the street. Based off of what you saw this season, do you find that to be true? That's why they needed this many housewives this season? Miss Melanie Magic says, demote that hoe. Really? Are we calling people hoes in the chat? Someone put him on timeout for a good hot 5 minutes. We ain't calling people hoes in the chat. Yo, Finance Auntie says, thank you for the super chat. Finance Auntie says, peach juice is never gonna unblocking you. Peach juice is Porsha. I'm okay with it because she would just end up blocking me again. Okay? She'll just end up blocking me again. Maybe when she comes on the daytime talk show, we'll talk about her blocking me. I'm okay with her blocking me, though. I find it funny. All right? All right. Miss Bell says, Kempire, where in the world are you? My house? My house? That's where I am. I'm just in a different portion of the house. Okay. Lou says that Kelly was fun, though. She should have demoted Phaedra. Was she fun? If anything, her and Shamea's friendship makes a lot of sense in regards to them both being cringy. But that's me. Okay. Hold on. Let me see what is this? Pajari? How do you Paj? So I'll call you. Paj says, and you are kissing her behind since then, expecting her to unblock you. Paj, I know you wanted my attention. I know you want me to read you for filth. But this is so ridiculous in regards, because obviously you must be new here. You must be new, at least within the last 5 days. I know you want attention. I'm going to give you this much attention because maybe people in your life don't give you any attention. If you see my recaps, everyone keeps saying that she's never going to unblock you based off what I say. Okay? I don't need Porsha to unblock me. I still see the things. Unlike you, I don't need people to like me. I don't need people to show me attention, to feel value. I don't need Porsha to unblock me. I don't need it. You say I'm kissing her butt? How so? How so? Please tell me. Please tell me. But you know what? We gave you a little attention that your mother and your daddy and your friends and your family don't give you because you're here watching me. Keep watching. Keep watching. We appreciate you adding to the ad revenue for next month. Thanks, Paj, aka loser, in your house in a lonely room by yourself. Oh, y'all keep showing yourselves. Y'all show yourselves. Y'all show how pitiful you actually are, and that you don't watch the channel. But that could also been a Porsha fan, probably. Okay. Exactly. Thanks for the view. And mind you, they'll stay here to keep watching. And honestly, Podge, we just went light on you. Could have went a little bit heavier on you, but we won't because you're not worth it. Let's move on. Let's move on to more important things other than Podge's sad life, sitting in the corner by himself. Podge and Shamea, you're right. It probably is Podge and Shamea. I'm sure she got a few different accounts on here. Mm-hmm. Thanks for the engagement. Ching! Ching! Speaking of engagements, let's say thank you to one of our many sponsors here on the channel. Podge, go get your discount. Shout out to MyFitnessPal.
So I want to talk to you about something that I've done on and off for years, even before this was a sponsored anything. Intermittent fasting. Have you tried it before? For me, it was never about extreme dieting or anything like that. It was more about giving my body a rhythm, a time for my body to eat and a time for my body to rest. And when I was dialed in, I really felt the difference. My energy felt steadier and I wasn't crashing in the afternoon. So this is real for me. But here's the real deal. For me, back in the day when I was doing intermittent fasting, I had to rely on timers, reminders, and I would forget. I was like, wait, when did I stop eating last night? When can I start eating today? Well, our friends over at MyFitnessPal is making it even easier to track your intermittent fasting if that's something that you do. So when I found out MyFitnessPal Premium has a built-in fasting tracker now, this is it right here. Look how simple. It actually walks you through it. You pick your goal. There is a 12-12 if you're brand new and easing in, a 14-10, or the 16-8, which is the one I do. 16 hours fasting and 8-hour eating window. And I love that it tells you right here, check with your doctor before making big changes. And there's even a what is intermittent fasting and is it right for you link built in. It's not pushing you, it's informing you. And as you'll see in the app, it's calculating everything for you. You set the time that you want to start fasting, and it automatically lets you know when you can break your fast. It even gives you tips on how to be successful at intermittent fasting, like stay hydrated, increase your protein, and more importantly, listen to your body. So the thing that I used to have to juggle timers, memory, is now all in MyFitnessPal Premium. As I mentioned to you guys before, I recently met with my nutritionist. So fasting isn't for everyone. And I like that the app always tells you speak to your doctor, speak to someone with the expertise in this, just to see if it will work for you. But if this has been something that you've been considering, now you have one place where it does everything for you. Because as I've been telling you, your nutrition is the foundation of everything, especially when it comes to your energy, your sleep, and your recovery. And it's not just about what you eat, it's also about the rhythm of when you eat. And I'm so happy that MyFitnessPal Premium is making that just so much easier for everyone in every lifestyle. So if intermittent fasting is something that you've been considering or you've already been doing and you didn't realize that with MyFitnessPal Premium, it now makes your life so much easier when it comes to tracking it and going back and seeing, oh, how many days did I intermittent fast this week? It does it for you in MyFitnessPal Premium. As always, I've gotten you a discount. Go to podcast.myfitnesspal.com and use code Kempire, all uppercase, for 15% off premium. All the information on your discount and everything MyFitnessPal will be available in the description. Thanks, MyFitnessPal.
Again, guys, don't forget you can save a lot with our discount. And it ends up being like $68 a year, $5.66 a month, 19 cents a day. As I said to you before, you've seen so many different examples of what you're getting in MyFitnessPal. Change your life today, change your eating habits. It's so many really cool stuff, and even stuff they have in beta form that are coming to MyFitnessPal, the app. So again, more information on MyFitnessPal and all of our sponsors will be available in the description. All right, if you're a member of the channel, I did drop the call-in link already on the post tab, on the community post tab here on YouTube. We're also streaming on Twitch, Twitter. Where else we streaming? And on Facebook. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook. We appreciate you guys being here. Elise says, I missed the live. It's okay. We're still live. We've been live for almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours we've been live. But anyway, guys, keep liking today's video. Mods, can you just let me know how many likes we've got so far on YouTube? I also posted on the poll tab, not the poll tab, the poll in regards to how you guys would rate this week's episode. But if you're watching on Twitch or on Twitter or on Facebook, let me know how you would rate this week's episode. Next week is the season finale for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right. And I see we already have quite a few mods backstage. I had to go pull out my trusty phone in order to put the timer on because you're not going to get me today. You're not going to get me today. Just as I actually like my Fitness Pal a lot. Me too. I've been using it for years, like on and off for years. And I didn't realize how many updates they've had since then. All right. Especially that nutrition coach. That nutrition coach is something else. But again, shout out to all of you that have been taking advantage of it. If you've been thinking about it, this is the time. Don't y'all want to get a discount? Because then y'all see it later and I'm like, damn, I should have gotten that 50% off. Get your $68 for the year. Just saying. Anyway, let's move on. Back to our recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right. Back to from Shamea's party. So K. Michelle decided not to go to Shamea's party because she had a dinner date, double date with Porsha and her quote man Mike. So they go bowling together. Okay, they go bowling. K. Michelle asked Porsha why did she send that text message to Shamea. Porsha asked, oh, so she showed you my text message? She's showing my text messages again? And I was like, ooh, she's right. She's right. But she didn't show her the text message. Well, she read the text message to K. Michelle. So moving on from that situation, because clearly there is no resolve in this week's episode when it comes to Shamea and Porsha. So K. Michelle starts to grill Mike on his relationship with Porsha. What's going on with you guys? Mike says with a straight face that he's in love with Porsha. How are we in love? How are we in love? Like, how do we get to love? I don't believe this. I believe that this is a pre-produced relationship. I believe in his mind, he thinks that this is another skit. This is another job that he's doing. When he said that he was in love with Porsha with a straight face, I said, and then Portia's just sitting there like, she can't even act. So she's like, she does say that she's not in love with him. Not yet. Okay. Every scene that we've seen with them this season, I have not fallen for. I'm just, oh, damn. Nancy says that Mike's a better actor than Drew. Wow. But he's not booked and busy like she is. I'm sure, I know he's booked some stuff, but he's not as booked and as busy as Drew is. Don't be talking about Drew. Don't be talking about Drew. Okay. Moving along. Y'all shady. Leave Drew alone. Okay. So he says that he's in love with Porsha. Okay. And they're all like, Caston and K. Michelle like, what? You're in love? So Mike asked Porsha, where do you see this going? And Portia's just sort of like starts stuttering and she's pulling apart the chicken and things like that. So she reveals to Kay that she's dating these two people. When they step away to go play bowl, to bowl, she reveals to Kay that she's dating Sway. She's still over there, and she's, dating Mike. So Kay's like surprised. She's like, oh, okay. I'm just over Porsha and whatever this storyline she's come up with. Okay. I don't believe it. I haven't believed it, especially when he was like, oh, I'm in love with her. I don't believe that he's in love with her. I believe he feels like Portia's reaction was like, we didn't agree to this. You're going off script. You're going off script. So Portia's like, I don't even know how to respond to this. He went off script in regards to this. He decided to improv. He thinks that this is improv. Okay. He said, I am going to say I'm in love with her. And mind you, as I said before, I don't get sexual energy between these two individuals. I don't get anything from these two. There's no sexual energy between these two. And they're two good-looking people. You would think there'd be some sort of sexual energy. There isn't. I'm not convinced, but fine. Y'all can believe what you want to believe. Let's get back to Shamea's Halloween party. So we're back at Shamea's Halloween party. Everyone's starting to try Shamea's rum. Based on everyone's reaction, guys, what did you guys think? Do you think that the people like the rum? Some people were saying, like, I never even tried a rum that has flavor. I don't drink rum. The only rum that I mess with is the Jamaican rum that you rub on your chest when you're feeling sick. That's the only rum I know. Okay, never tasted it, so I don't know. Okay. CV Nurse says they hated it. Just based on the reaction, Cynthia was like, ooh, okay. Phaedra said came as the godfather of Atlanta. What'd you guys think of Phaedra's costume? I thought it was a good costume. And leaning into what they've been calling her, I thought it was cute. She tried it and she said, it tastes like Quick. The strawberry Quick? Or no, chocolate Quick? That's not bad. Shamea says, that's not bad. Okay. So you guys are basically saying that it don't taste good. That's what you guys are coming up with in the chat. It don't taste good. All right. All right. Moving on from that situation. Phaedra, this is when we finally get to meet Jarvis. We already went through this. She meets Jarvis. Phaedra says that she saw Jarvis off camera and she says he's quite handsome. She says, is he hiding from the creditors or Kelly's ex? Kelly, as I said before, says that she's hiding Jarvis for herself to protect him from her ex. And she says that he isn't married. Okay. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. As soon as I was watching, I was like, fired. Fire her right now. Because why are you don't have enough to be talking about this season and you're not that interesting and entertaining, Kelly, to not have more. Because I always said, you don't have to have a storyline if you're an interesting character on reality. I can't say that she's that interesting. What do you guys think? Okay, some of y'all do think that she was interesting, but okay. All right, moving on from there. Kelly, K. Michelle surprises Shamea and actually does show up. Okay. Kay says that Caston convinced her to go. Caston is a producer? Oh, no. Her husband? No, a producer convinced her to go and show up. So Shamea pulls the group aside for her second apology. So remember, she apologized when Porsha got up and left the table in Scotland. So she apologizes again at her party if she made everyone feel uncomfortable. And I said last night, loading YouTube apology. I hope she does. We had a good kiki. Remember last year we played the apology during our recap of that episode. So I hope she does do a YouTube apology, so she can give us another apology video. She's not gonna give it to us, huh? She's learned a thing or two because she's been kind of mute on social media. Okay. So she apologized to the group for making them feel uncomfortable in Scotland again. Drew says that Shamea's apologies don't land. She said she needs to apologize to Porsha. Do you agree with Drew? Do you think that Shamea should apologize to Porsha? Honestly, I don't think she needs to apologize to Porsha. I think they just need to end the friendship. I think they probably should have ended the friendship a long time ago. I don't think she needs to apologize to Porsha. You meant what you said. Unless you feel actual remorse for what you said, for hurting her feelings, bring up her daughter, I don't know. But some might say that she doesn't owe Porsha an apology. Okay. So Shamea says that she invited Porsha. She tells the group, like, I did invite Porsha, and she gave an F off vibe. So Cynthia says to Porsha, says that Porsha's response makes sense. And I already know some of the Porsha haters are going to be like, here goes Cynthia. Told y'all she's a go naked hair model. Told y'all she's team Porsha, blah, blah, blah. But no, this is what we're saying. We're saying that it makes complete sense why Porsha would not want to F with you after Scotland. Okay? But y'all saw Shamea's face when Cynthia was saying it. She was just like she didn't understand. You don't understand? Shamea, I'm going to question your sense. But then you also wore this to a meeting with your attorney. Look, you also wore this outfit to a meeting with your attorney. Okay? So you might not have any sense. You might not have any sense. Okay? Porsha said, girl, I'm not coming to your damn party. You are sick as please move along. Enjoy. I can't. I cannot. I can't, y'all. Can y'all? Who does understand Shamea inviting? I'm sure somebody that's backstage does. All right. Let me move on because I do want to get to the callers in just a moment. So Kelly defends Shamea, okay, by saying that everyone was crickets when Angela said that Shamea slept with George's wife. Ashley, George's wife, George is also at this party. I'm sure Shamea invited them intentionally. So Kelly defends Shamea by saying that everyone was crickets when Angela said that Shamea slept with George's wife. Ashley reveals that Angela asked if she had any tea on Shamea. Remember those exact words, okay? Angela finally arrives. Apparently Charles is still in the car. Maybe he didn't have a costume. He didn't want to come in, or maybe he didn't want to deal with these people. Maybe he was a little crotchety. I could see it, okay? Angela arrives, and they confront her about what she said. It was like perfect timing. Angela came as a police officer, okay? Angela says, well, no, I never asked you for tea on Shamea. I said, do you know Shamea? Ashley says, well, I interpreted that. You interpreted, Ashley? Look, Ashley don't seem like the brightest bulb. Let's be honest. Let's call a thing a thing. I don't interpret, and I'm not a Fangela. The sirens, y'all heard the sirens? The police have arrived with Angela. Angela says, no, I said, do you know Shamea? Ashley says, I interpreted that. She didn't deny that's what Angela said. I interpreted that as if you wanted tea on Shamea. That's not the same thing. And I'm going to twerk on the fence because I do feel that it's weird that Angela is pressing so hard when it comes to the Shamea of it all. And I can also feel that George said what he said. And if we were there, we probably would have been like, that's weird. Because remember, this is the same man on his YouTube reality show about him and his wife. He talked about meeting her. I played the video for you. He says, I was in hot pursuit of a prostitute. He said that about his future wife. So he's cringy. He's weird. He's creepy in a lot of ways. So I said to you, after I saw that video, I said, I could see where someone might misinterpret something that this man says. Does it vindicate Angela? I don't know if vindication is the right word, but I don't know. All right. But I do think there's a difference between saying, do you know someone versus do you have tea on someone? I'm not saying that it can't insinuate something, but based off of the English language, it was giving, Ashley, maybe you misinterpreted what she said. Because she's like, oh, do you know Shamea? Because there's a way of saying, do you know Shamea? There is a way of saying that might insinuate, what do you know? But she didn't argue with Angela in regards to that. But Angela, like a pro housewife, you got to give Angela her tens. Angela would have been a great housewife with the old school, the OGs of Real Housewives of Atlanta. The way she was able to navigate that conversation without breaking a sweat, and then moved it from the whole, do you know her or do you have tea, to, well, let's move it to what Shamea told you, which Shamea may have just mixed up what she was saying. I don't think that Shamea intentionally tried to bring misinformation. Well, maybe she did, because she's brought a lot of misinformation this season, because she also accused Phaedra of saying that Pinky eats meat. So, but maybe her recollection's bad. Maybe her recollection is bad. Okay? Because Angela pivots the conversation to be like, well, no, Shamea lied to you and said that I said that you said that Shamea slept with your husband, and I never said that. We're playing semantics, okay? At this particular point. You did say, though, Angela, that Shamea slept with the man. So they start confronting Angela on that accusation. And then Shamea's like, well, George is here. Let's ask George. So George denies it. But Angela doubles down. She's like, you didn't say that at your event? And he was like, well, I was making a joke. And I was lit. I don't think this vindicates Angela. Ashley was like, and look, Ashley's going to always side with her husband and make excuses for her husband. Not just because he's a husband, but that is the man is paying for the lifestyle. Okay. You saw what K. Michelle said. She's like, she's a very beautiful girl. And that's a very interesting looking man. We know what that is. K. Michelle said it. I'm just paraphrasing what she said. Okay. April says, I don't think it does. I don't think it vindicates her. D says Angela's vindicated. But I could see how Angela might misconstrue what he said. Because basically, Angela's like said to George, like, you didn't say when you met her, he had to pay her. George denies it, but Angela said you said that at your event. So he sort of backtracks and like, well, I was making a joke. And I mean, I can see how people might misconstrue what George says. You saw the man. That green beard that he had, that's not a costume. Remember, he had the green beard on when she met him at the office. Just saying. All right? So he admits to making a joke and being lit. Drew says Angela is vindicated. K. Michelle in her confession is like, this is delusion upon delusion. How does this vindicate Angela? I don't know if it 100% vindicates her. Shamea says that is not what George said. She says, George basically says that Shamea is about her money and you got to pay her. But that's not what he said. Look, that's not what he said. They were there, though. Remember that there were cameras there. So why don't they just play it? Because remember they flashed back during one of the episodes of him giving her the check. So why don't they just play what he said to vindicate Angela? Maybe at the reunion. Angela will be vindicated. Or maybe not. Because I could see this man saying something cringy, but at the same time, if we use our common sense, okay, it was a joke, but we have to see it first. Okay, can I be honest with you? I'm kind of over this whole Angela and Shamea of it all. I do feel like Angela is just pressing on Shamea. Like at this particular point, like you got a hard on for Shamea. Like you don't have a real issue with Shamea. So I'm sort of like, let's move on. Okay. All right. So they try to move on, but Angela says every time we try to move on, I feel like I get ambushed again. Okay. So Shamea's like, see, this is why we can't move on. Anyways, guys, can we go do my rum bum contest? They go in front of the entire party. They pull out the molds of everyone's bum. Well, not everyone's. They only got through 2. And they start guessing whose bum is what to the audience. Really? This is why we say that she's cringy. Y'all see and mind you, they look like real bums. Okay? They start pulling out everyone's bums. The first bum was, they were guessing all Cynthia's, but it was actually Pinky's bum. Okay? How does your husband feel about them seeing your bum? Everyone can say, well, I guess everyone saw her bum last week in Scotland. Remember she was wearing the see-through outfit? I just don't understand how this is a relevant launch party. I get it. Your situation is called Rum Bum, but why do we need to see the bums of your friends to the rest of all of Atlanta and now millions of people on this show? This is why I keep telling you she gives me the ick. This is why she makes me cringe. Like, I just don't get it. Like, it's example after example after example after example with Shamea. Why? They pull out bum number 2. Bum number 2, they start guessing. Kelly's like, oh, that's flat. That's flat. I think it's Drew's. Drew's was like, I know you're not talking misproportion. She's like, I got a coupon. She turns around. Sidebar, I think after this rum bum situation, that's why Drew decided to go get a 360 BBL. Okay. However, I won't be surprised if Jarvis pays for Kelly to get the 360 BBL, because the flat booty she was calling flat was hers. It was her flat booty. Like, girl, you don't remember the booty mold that you did? You don't remember the booty mold? So Gerald Mwangi, Shamea's husband, interrupts. I'm thinking Gerald's going to do like a big moment. Like he's going to gift her some big moment. No. We go outside at the end of this episode. Terry, a.k.a. Nene's ex-man that was, remember they were hemmed up in the bed together? We talked about this already. Apparently, the hairstylist has been trying to hook Drew up with this man. They would try to go on a date. He stood her up on the date. I don't know why he's here. He brings a horse. He's not even dressed like a cowboy, but he brings a horse. And Drew is like, oh my God, what is this? What are you doing? K. Michelle says, I'm over this, and walks away. She's just like, because she's accusing Drew of producing this moment. I don't know. I don't put anything past Drew. Drew has done performative stuff over the years. But I also said to you, I was like, how did he know that what her costume was going to be? And if Walter, her hairstylist, told him, I would fire Walter. And I'm being facetious. But I would fire Walter. Like, why do you keep pressing this man on me? I'm not interested in this man. Unless you are. You wanted to have this moment at Shamea's party. I will say this. The poor horse looked a little sickly. The poor horse looked... That was a sad looking horse. I'm sorry to the horse. Sorry to this horse. He looked a little sickly. Not as sickly as Cha-Cha. Is Cha-Cha okay? Have we done a wellness check on Cha-Cha, the dog? Just asking. I haven't seen Cha-Cha in a hot minute since she started claiming she ain't got money to bring Cha-Cha to the hair salon anymore. Where's Cha-Cha? On Shamea's back. Oh, Shamea's back. Okay, that's what Cha-Cha is. She's on Cha-Cha. Oh, Shamea's back. And that was the episode. Next week is the season finale of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Did y'all know that? Next week is the season finale. So stay tuned for our recap of the season finale next week. We do have quite a few callers that are backstage. This is why these lives run for 3 hours, okay? If you appreciate what we're doing here, be sure to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We are having such a good time over on Patreon. Scan the QR code or head on over to patreon.com/TheKempire. We did a watch party last night. There's all kinds of great new content there, exclusive content. We are building. We're going to do so much more. We even have our book club. You guys have been asking for the book club. The book club is here. Brandy's book, Phases, is our first book club selection. I already did the video. The video should be out very soon, so stay tuned for that. It's coming exclusively to Patreon, along with some other exclusives. You guys have been asking for a lot, and it's coming to Patreon, so make sure you're following and you don't miss out. There is if you are a member of the channel, I did give you guys some really good discounts, especially if you're a Royal Court member or a Senior Royal. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out. But if you are not, there is a 7-day trial. So become a member today at patreon.com/TheKempire. All right. Keep in mind, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, TheKempire LLC, or our sponsors. Okay, everything that they say is alleged and of their own opinion. Please respect the timer. And mind you, I don't have my trusty timer like I normally do, so I have to use my phone. Okay, so please respect the timer so that we're able to get to everyone. Let me first pull up my timer. Where is this? Oh, let me use this. Do I want to use this timer? No. All right. Let me bring up the clock. Let's bring up the clock. Let's do a timer. How much time should I give everybody? I'm going to give the members a minute. I'm being generous with the members right now. But if for the live chat, I will once we get to a certain amount of likes, mods, how many likes do we have currently on YouTube? Once we get to a certain amount of likes, I will drop the calling for the general audience. Let me say thank you before we get to the callers, though. We had a few super chats. Your finance aunties, Peace Shoots is never unblocking you. Nope. Queen Rez, thank you for the. Let me shimmy. Thank you for the super chat. Queen Rez says, Kem, how did you enjoy the World Cup? I loved it, Queen Rez. Did you see our conversations about the World Cup? I'm glad Spain won, even though I have my Argentina shirt that I can never wear again. Also, what do you think is the next phase for RHOA? Because it's souring so bad. Lastly, when are you coming back to Los Angeles or Atlanta? I'm due for some fun. I know. So you're going to go to either one? Maybe next year. We'll see. Maybe next year. Definitely not this year. But I do have my live show here in New York, September 25th at the Green Room 42. There's a live stream option as well. Okay. You can actually watch on Patreon the March 13th show if you missed it. Just saying. Okay. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Tish says Shamea needs to check that man because why is he joking on her pom pom? Ooh, talking about George. Mr. Melon Magic, thank you for the super chat. Mr. Melon Magic says she wasn't vindicated, but it added context. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. All right. We have quite a few members that are backstage. Please, for those members that when you speak your piece, please drop out so other people can call in. I did post the call-in link on the post tab. Okay, live chat once we and mods. I completely missed how many likes that we had. How many likes did we have, mods? Jermaine says Kemp not playing about that time. Okay, Devin says 20 seconds. We're going to give the members a little bit longer, okay? Duchess is backstage. You're going to bring up Duchess first. Duchess, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Can you hear me? I'm in my car.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. Hey. Hi. Happy Monday.
You too.
So Shamea, remember last season how she introduced herself as the female Jamie Foxx, or she called herself the female Jamie Foxx?
Mm-hmm.
Someone who thinks that highly of their talent and their star quality is not going to be content hosting Atlanta Hawks games for the rest of their life. You know, I'm sure she loves her husband and her children, and I'm sure she likes the money, but I think she just sees herself as a star, and she's going to hold on to this platform for as long as she can, as long as Bravo will bring her back, or until she can finally turn it into more acting roles, or possibly do music the way Candace did it, not the way other housewives, but the way Candace did it. And I just think that even though she's saying, I have to go to therapy for this, I think she wants this to work and turn into something more of an entertainment career for her. So she's not going to walk away that easy. And I agree, Angela may not be vindicated, but that man very much comes across as the type to make like a terrible joke of that matter. So he said something sideways, but Angela just took it and ran. He just seems so sleazy. I can't. But yeah, that's all I have today.
Okay. So you hear the timer? Perfect timing.
Yep.
That timer's low. Thanks, Duchess.
Have a good day.
You too. At least I will know the time. I will let you guys know the time. All right. Let me actually put this right here, maybe. Move my thing here. All right. Ashley's backstage. We're going to bring Ashley up next. Ashley, what did you want to share?
Hey, so really quickly, I'm gonna be fast. Maybe I'm just a little bit too much of an empathetic because I kind of do still feel bad for Shamea. And I think I think about being in a group where no one likes you, and it's obvious that she's still grieving the friendship. Now, what she did was completely out of line, but I still feel bad even with her victimhood. I just can't help it. Maybe it's the low key to Pisces in me.
I do feel bad for her on one level, especially seeing her kind of navigate the group.
Yeah, it seems rough. So I just had to, get that. And also, I don't feel like Angela was vindicated. Like, that's just me. I feel like she also has some underlying issues with Shamea. But Shamea needs to figure out, how to move forward without Porsha. That's her issue. But I also have to state, Angela did read Kelly down. Like, she can read. She can read a heifer.
I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. I can't believe I skipped over that because that was my favorite part of the episode.
Exactly. Telling her I worry about her lease. I said, "Oh."
Because Kelly, for those that may have missed it, sorry, your time's up.
It's fine.
Did you have something to say, Ashley? I'm sorry.
No, that's it. So I'll leave because I know you got a list. So let me get out.
Thanks, Ashley. I wanted to point this out. Thanks, Ashley, for reminding me, because that was one of my favorite parts of the episode. I can't believe I almost forgot to mention it, because when they were having that argument at the Halloween party, Kelly decided to defend Shamea, and she was just like, "You and your short heel," to Angela. Angela's like, "Short like your lease. That's your landlord." I said, this is why Angela is, she literally in the moment. This is not a confessional moment. In the moment. Kelly, first of all, Kelly can't read. And the girls could read Kelly for filth because Kelly has given them so many let me remind you, Kelly has given them so many things to read, okay? She's given them so many things to read, okay? Kelly's like, "You and your short heel." She said, "Short like your lease. That's your landlord." She's like, she was like, you ain't even got a husband or a house. And she's like, "Where's your husband? You waking up alone." She's like, "He's outside." Don't come for Angela. Angela, and I heard Angela read the girls for filth at this reunion. So Angela's here to stay. I know we don't love everything that Angela does, but Angela is here to stay. Miss Allison's Kempire, this slideshow. I am bringing you the facts of the situation. There's so much to read Kelly about. Kelly said, "You and your short heel, short like your lease, short like your lease. That's your landlord." So before the streets were talking about her being the landlord, Angela said it how many months ago? She said, "That's your landlord." I said, "Oh, thank you, Ashley, for reminding me about that." All right, Tish is backstage. Tish, are you there?
Hey, Kempire, I'm here.
Hey, how are you?
No, I'm good. No, I literally came to ask you, how did you not talk about the fact that,
I completely
yeah,
forgot.
that and when Kim Michelle too, like Kim Michelle had a lot of funny moments
Yeah.
this episode. I loved her this episode. I was like, okay, this is why I can now say that you really don't have to go anywhere, because before I was trying to evict her. So I'm so happy. Also, this whole thing with Shamir kind of reminded me of Dwight when he said, "Who's the lady that's having a launch with no deal sign, no official deal sign for no rum?" Because Shamir said that on Watch What Happens Live 2 weeks ago, that it's still not done. So how are you having a launch for a product that's not done?
And that was months ago.
Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Tish, and thanks for
Okay.
reminding us that the deal was still not done.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no problem.
Yeah, like the deal is still not done. How many months after this is filming? So we see this is how many months ago? The deal with this distributor is not done. All right. Let's bring up Lee. What's going on, Lee?
Hey, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm doing good. So I don't want to harp on Shamia, but I'm sorry I have to. As a businesswoman, I'm business minded. I don't think Shamia makes good decisions. She does not make good decisions in business and relationships. Like, it's really bad. I think the only good decision she made was marrying Gerald. Like, he seems like a fine man, but she said that in the beginning of the season, she said that she spent six figures on her music career. Where is that? Now she spent 6 figures on this rum company. Where is that? I'm sorry, what are we talking about? You're spending 6 figures on each business venture and they're nothing. We don't have much to go off of. So I'm sorry, Shamia, these are not good decisions. And if you wanted your friendship back with Porsha, bringing up her whatever the mama sauce is, whatever that is, it wasn't a good decision either. And then now she's like facing the repercussions and she's embarrassed about those decisions. But she has to save face somehow. She has to make it seem like that was her intention in the first place, you know? I don't like it. I don't think she makes good decisions. Kelly, get out of my face with this Jarvis. Get out of my face with
Say
this.
this. Get out of my face with this.
Honey, we did not need to see none of that. No honey pot needs to be shown ever on Real Housewives of Atlanta. We might get some cakes, but never a honey pot, you know?
Especially this episode. We got a lot of cakes this episode.
We got a lot of cakes. But, you know, I'm not actually going to even say that I dislike Kelly. I feel like she's just all over the place. Like she really needs to get it together, and I love a good redemption arc. So if she comes back, I would love to see her actually have it together, you know? That would be cool to see. And yeah, I think Angela is not vindicated, but And soon she will be, maybe, hopefully, cross his fingers because I like her. But that's all I had to say.
Thanks, Lee.
All right, talk soon. Bye-bye.
All right, Kathy's back, so we're gonna bring Kathy up next. Kathy, I was just listening to what you had to say last week on the podcast. Kathy,
Oh, really? Well, I don't think Angela was vindicated because my first question is why was she looking on information about Shamea in the first place?
she asked if you knew her.
I think she got to get to know her, talk to her one-to-one, but why are you searching for information? So that's the first thing that she did wrong. So that's the way Angela. I like Angela, but I wouldn't trust a friend who is going behind my back to look for information about me. I don't want you around me. Porsha, you asked a question earlier. I think they should get rid of her. I think they should get rid of Porsha. And like I said last week, I like Porsha as a friend I can hang out with, but that's it. Because she needs to control the narrative. And right now, she has people around her who are just going along with her lies, the story that she wants to portray on the television. So we're not getting real, authentic interactions between the cast members. So it's making the show bad. And when you think about it, when Porsha was around the OGs, she didn't have this control.
She had to show up.
She did not have this control. So we need to get people who are able to stay on their own. Porsha cannot lead a show because if they step out of line, she's going to get mad like 50 Cent. And they both Cancer. And I love me a Cancer. My father's a Cancer. My aunt's a Cancer. I love me a Cancer, but I know how they move. Like 50 Cent, if you cross 50 Cent, what do? He lashes out. Porsha, when Shamea said that we're not getting a real Porsha, because if you go against Porsha, you're going to see a different side. And if you look at the scene with her mom and the sister and the family, you can look in their faces and it doesn't show a real authentic interaction. It looks like they were performing, in my opinion.
Our mom's a yes person. Lauren's a yes person. Dennis is a yes person. You're right.
Yeah. I think Porsha needs to go. She's fun, but she can come.
And then I'll have to let you go because we're over time. I think that Porsha can stay, but we got to bring back some people that are going to hold her accountable.
Absolutely. And I hate to say it, bring back Kenya, bring back Nene, because I love Nene. But
now, until they settle that lawsuit.
Yes, but you need to bring back people who's going to challenge Porsha, not go along with Porsha, because Angela's heat towards Shamea doesn't make sense, but it will make sense if Angela's doing it because of Porsha. Same thing with K. Michelle. Like none of it makes sense to me.
Here's the thing. I just feel like even if Nene comes back, Nene's gonna come back with a sense of like she's not the head, HBIC, because the way that the network is treating Porsha. So I even think Nene probably wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know.
Nene's a Sagittarius. They can't control
what?
No. Nene's gonna come back and she's going to check Porsha.
I hope. Porsha. All right, I'll let you go. We got a long line.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kathy. But Kathy brings up valid points. I have to agree with her that there's no one there. We saw that on Porsha's Family of Lies. That's why Porsha's Family of Lies only got one season. It wasn't interesting because no one's going to actually be authentic and show up and challenge Porsha. So I have to agree with her with that. Very valid points. Rue's backstage, not the Rue from Euphoria.
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So just one quick one around the Porsha thing. I actually blame the network for that because of the deal that Portia's in. It makes it hard for anyone to challenge her. So it's just a very tricky situation, right? But the reason I'm calling in is because of Kelly. I feel like Kelly needs to just go. And that's solely based off of the story that she's telling is not making sense to me. How are you scared of your ex-husband, but you're on a reality show? And on the very same reality show, you're telling us that you're moving into Shamea. This picture sends me. But you're telling us that you're moving into Shamea's townhouse. So your ex is going to find out about that, but you draw the line when it comes to the person you're dating. That's such a weird thing. Like you want this man who's threatened your life to know where you live, but you're protecting your boyfriend. That's like, get out of here. Like that's the thing with me. And I also found it very funny that she had all the smoke for Drew when it came to identifying the bum as Drew's bum until it turned out that it was hers. And I was like, oh, That's what you think about yourself. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thanks so much.
Cool.
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow. I mean, no lies told. All right. Maloney Love is backstage. Hey, Maloney, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire.
Maloney, you kind of look like Shaka Khan.
They said that about my mom.
Well, you look like your mama, because I was like, wait a minute, is Shaka Khan backstage? Okay.
This is my first time calling in. I'm so excited.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. And I'll see you in September. I'll be there.
Okay.
I'll be there. I can't wait.
You gonna perform for us?
No, I'm far from it. But anyway, I want to talk about K. Michelle, because a lot of you are saying that you guys didn't believe her when she said the thing about the Halloween. I grew up like that. We did not celebrate Halloween. We did have the Hallelujah night where we had to dress up like the people in the Bible. So I understand. And I didn't celebrate for years, even as an adult. And the same thing with my kids. And even at work, they felt like I wasn't a team player. So I started participating maybe about 4 years ago. I started participating in the Halloween, but I do love it now. So I do understand and I do believe her. So
Okay.
I wanted to bring that point up. And I do feel like Angela was vindicated a little bit because that guy seemed a little shady. He probably said something along that lines and she just repeated what she heard, you know? So I kind of believe her a little bit.
That's true. She didn't throw any stank on it or sauce on it like a Giselle.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't say that?
Right.
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 All right.
Perfect timing.
Thanks so much, Maloney. Shaka
You're
Khan.
welcome.
Shaka.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Shaka Khan looks amazing too. Y'all see that recent video that she did singing Through the Wire? She looks great. She's like 70-something years old, right, Shaka Khan? All right. Let's bring up Cynthia. What's going on?
Kempire, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm fine. Angela was not vindicated. Angela is still a liar to me. I am not feeling Angela at all this season. I'm not. I think her beef with Shamea is clearly forced and she's clearly reaching. And my advice to Shamea, this is coming from a Cancer. Porsha's a Cancer. Once you cross that line with us, you gotta lay there. Please just move on.
Not lay there. Is that what happened with your sister? Did she just lay there?
Yes, you gotta lay there. You gotta lay there. Once you cross the line with me, you gotta lay there. And that's it, Kempire. And I'll see you in New York on September.
You coming?
I'm coming from Maryland by myself.
We'll keep your hands to yourself. Yeah, if y'all new here, y'all don't get the inside jokes right now. Cynthia, I'll see you in September.
See you, Kemp.
That is hilarious. I'll crack myself up. You know what? All right. She said you can't. The Cancer said you just lay there. Okay. April's backstage. April, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. Good afternoon. So I don't agree with Angela being vindicated because here's the thing. If you're coming to take someone down, you know this as an Aries, ruled by Martian, we like to come with the facts. So you have to come with the facts. And it's like, I see what she was trying to do, but again, it needs to be solid proof. And it's like she inherited the beef of Porsha or whoever it was to pick up this fight with Shamea. If you want to call her corny, fine, you could do that. But it has to make sense, babes. And George and his wife, everybody, including Angela, just looked silly. Like, just hang it up, flat screen, leave it alone. And for K. Michelle to say she doesn't celebrate Halloween, but she loves to be a pick-me and participate in being misogynistic towards women, you need to pick a stronger, babes, because it's not making sense for me at all. So it's like, okay, so you don't want to go, have fun, but you want to then be a soldier of continuing to get in between women? And like Alexander Rogers said about Angela, they need to go get some tea about Angela and her finances. But have a good day, Kempire.
Thanks, April. Not the tea. I mean, that should be easy to find. There might not be tea, y'all. I know people just assume because of her failed real estate ventures that there might be some tea. I mean, there was some tea when she first came on the show, remember? About how she lost her job at the bank or something like that. But all right. Hey, Tyler's backstage. What's going on, Tyler?
Hi, Kempire. I will say this: K. Michelle is from Memphis. I want everybody to keep in mind I'm from Memphis as well. It's the Bible Belt. It's a lot of different branches of the church, CME, AME, and that is very true. We grew up not celebrating Halloween. When I got grown, I said, "Child, I want a costume." It's common, but yeah. Other and her parents
I
are
just see
very.
her coming later, though.
Yeah, and then her parents are very involved, very heavily still involved in the church. And her father is an African American studies professor at Lamar Owens. So yeah. Anywho, I will say this. I don't think that Portia needs to leave the show. I actually don't think anybody needs to leave the show. I don't see the purpose of Phaedra, but I see the purpose of Phaedra, if that makes sense. I think it's a ratings draw. She brings in the ratings. If anybody has to leave Drew, after that horse and all that, girl, just go. It's like you're a builder Portia. It's time to go. And I think while I love Cynthia, I feel like Portia knows Cynthia wavers wherever it's in her favor, which is why I'm going to give her the hair deal and all that. I would like to see Nene paired with Cynthia as a friend. I think that that would be, make more sense
There's a
because
real
Nene,
friendship.
yeah, and also Nene is not going to side on Portia or Shamea's side. Nene would have been strong enough to tell them, y'all need to stop this and gotten it together. So I do want to see an OG. I think a lot of these shows need to bring in OGs, but maybe just as friends, like Giselle as a friend versus a full time. I think people would love them more. They let the younger girls play and you just step in where you should. That's all.
Okay. Thanks so much. All right. I just dropped the call link, guys, for the general audience as well. Not Tyler had 5 seconds to go. Tyler usually run overtime. Okay. All right. Let's bring hold on. I have to scroll back up. Where do we go? Okay, perspective. What's going on?
Hey, Camp, how are you? Can you hear me?
I'm well. Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Okay, good. So, I wanted to also say, I also disagree with Angela being vindicated. I think if anything, it just helped her to prove that he is weird because the way he was talking and stuff like that. But it didn't, like, nobody was saying she was lying about him saying that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody said he was lying about plan or whatever. So that didn't vindicate her. She still insinuated that Shamea, was, as a married woman, was sleeping with a married man, which was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And people have said, well, she didn't come out and say she did, but we know we're critical thinkers. We know that when somebody says, "Oh, it was because he said that he had to give you money," like, come on now, we know what that means.
Well, no,
So,
she did say, "Did you F Charles?"
yeah, right, and people are saying
I mean
she
George
asked.
Central.
People are saying she asked and not said it, but she said it because she said it the way he said about the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know what that means. But anyway, Angela was my favorite, but I just don't like the messiness. I don't like how she is just going after Shamea like that. It's crazy.
Thanks so much for calling in, K Perspective.
No problem.
All right, let's do. Oh, hold on. Kira's backstage. Kira, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire.
Can you hear me?
So, yeah, I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay. So, probably with your psychology background, I feel like Shamea is the case study on why having emotional intelligence is required as an adult. Her emotional intelligence is clearly low. And probably there may be a arrested development in there somewhere too. Because how can you, as an adult woman, have a business meeting and turn your butt? And I'm a Grenadian, right? That's an insult. That's actually an
Right?
insult to turn your behind. That's an insult. And try to do business with these people, especially an older generation. And classical drum is renowned in Grenada. So we knew that wasn't going to go anywhere, quite frankly. Separately, her not understanding why it's inappropriate, even if production tells you to invite Porsha. Why? This is just common sense, right? I would be embarrassed to show up as I'm insulted after everything that went down in Scotland. You know what I mean? Controversial opinion. I think Shamea and Timar are similar. Timar is a bit more beyond, but I think there's some similarities there. Okay, my time is up. Thank
Thanks,
you,
Kira.
Kempire.
Take care. Very valid points. See? Fellow Grenadian, just saying. Let me say thank you because we had a couple of super chats. Hold on. Chris, thank you so much for the super chat. Chris says, hey, Kempire, been a longtime replay member, and this is my first live. Love your channel and your insights. Thank you. Shout out to Chris, guys. Make sure you guys welcome Chris into the chat. Shout out to the replay crew. We see you, replay crew. We get it. People back in the office. The pandemic ain't what it used to be. So shout out to the replay crew. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. Welcome Chris to the fam for our live today. Miss Nubian, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Nubian says Angela doesn't just throw shade. She knows how to Jones. Okay, isn't that a DMV thing? If you took the school bus and had your peers talk about you from head to toe and your mama, you know what I mean. Oh, well, damn. Island Princess, thank you for being a member for 27 months, says Jarvis sounds like Dr. Greg from Married to Medicine. Maybe it's his twin, because he does have a twin. He does have an interesting voice, right? He did have an interesting voice. Not you. Okay. Island Princess, thank you for a super chat. She says, so she can't celebrate Halloween, but can strip? Come on, in regards to K. Michelle. Well, I mean, there's a few things about K. Michelle that you're like, I mean, religion can be hypocritical. Let's be honest. Okay. P Minx. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. Says, if anything, Porsha is an influential person, not a strategist. She has good people skills that may seem manipulative, but people feel drawn to her. Can't blame Porsha for other members' actions. I definitely been saying that this season. I feel like people are making Porsha out to be more manipulative than she's actually doing. Ariana, thank you so much for the super chat. Ariana says, can't call in, but I could think of 10 scenes we could have cut to see the traitor scene. Right, Ariana? I agree. I feel like the producers have lost the plot severely. As a Sag, Kemp is right. We don't mix well, but love Kemp. But no, Ariana, I know your birth chart, like your moon and your rising. You have some stuff that balances you out, your Sagittarius. But I tell you guys, I know you think I'm shading Sagittarius. I say I can't date them. Doesn't mean I don't like them, though. You know, there's signs that I'm like, I don't like them. But I feel like I like Sagittarius. I don't even know if we could be friends like that either, just because I'd be like, you're too much. Like, I can't go out with you because you're too much. But I still want to keep you around. Like, we can have long phone conversations where I'm safe in the house and you out and about doing all the things, right? All right. Reminder, guys, today's brought to you by our friends over at MyFitnessPal. If you haven't gotten into it, I don't know what you're waiting on. You can be saving tons of money right now. $68 a year, $5.66 a month, 19 cents a day with premium. Go check out MyFitnessPal today. Another quick MyFitnessPal moment. Logging your food is one thing, but here's something I didn't expect. After a while, MyFitnessPal Premium actually starts showing you patterns. Not just today, not just one meal, but it's actually showing you patterns of your eating habits. And that's where it got real for me, because it started showing me things that I didn't even realize. How my weekends completely fell apart versus my weekdays. Or on days when I actually hit my protein goals, that I actually felt really, really good versus other days where I didn't hit my protein goals. I wasn't guessing anymore. I could actually see it in the MyFitnessPal app. And once you can see a pattern, that's when you can actually change it. And that's the difference of tracking versus understanding what you're tracking. Because as I keep reminding you, your nutrition is the foundation everything runs on. Your energy, your sleep, your recovery, and the insights are what connects the dots. Go to podcast.myfitnesspal.com and use code KEMPIRE, all uppercase, for 15% off MyFitnessPal Premium. Thanks, MyFitnessPal. And we're back. Guys. And if you haven't already, be sure to like today's video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. And join our Patreon. You're missing out. I'll probably go live this evening, hopefully, fingers crossed, to talk more Real Housewives of Atlanta. It'll be our after show, what we usually do on TikTok, but we're going to be doing it on Patreon. So stay tuned for that and join us on Patreon. Let's get back to the calls. I apologize for having food in my mouth, but this is a long live. I've been live almost 3 hours. Okay. So I had me a little snack, a healthy snack too. I don't know if you guys tried the True Bars. It's like the only protein bar that I actually like, and it's recommended. It's not sponsored, but I'm letting y'all know. It's got peanuts, it's got cacao powder, pea protein, and cassava. This is my favorite protein bar. All right. Maybe they need to be a sponsor here on the channel, right? Okay, let's bring up Keith. Keith, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So first, I just want to say, Angela, she was definitely playing ping pong on top of Ashley and Kelly's head. Rehearsed or not, her reads always land. However, I do think saying someone doesn't have a husband really isn't a read, especially when you have to stalk your husband in order to get him. Because I mean, when you asking the doorman on his whereabouts, acting like you were Nikki Parker. So just hold up now. Let's let's not go too far. But also, I do want to say, Shamea, I am happy that she married Rich because no shade, I don't think her brain would be able to take her far. Because where do you think that it's fine for you to talk about someone's mother, invite them to your event, and then try to play victim? Like, it just doesn't make sense. In the words of New York Tiffany Pollard's mom, what's not clicking? What's not clicking? Like, it's just crazy to me. But yeah, that's about it all. But I do have one request. The person that put the straight jacket on K. Michelle, I'm gonna need y'all to put it on Shamea because she's not making any sense. That's about it.
Well, damn. Thanks so much, Keith. Damn, and Keith had more time. Yeah, 5 seconds. Okay. Let's do this. There we go. All right. All right. Makai's backstage. We're going to bring Makai up next. Makai, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
I just wanted to share two things. First, Angela, the thing I've noticed about Angela is that she will dig in receipts on the people prior to, like all her castmates prior to, so that when it comes time to, Joan and get, her reads off, she has a loaded backup so that anytime she comes to these ladies, they're always going to be taken back. Like, dang, where you hear that from? Like, that's so far fetched. Like, we was just talking about each other's appearances, and now you throwing out, I got a wife in the basement, like, So I just think Angela needs to stop doing that because she's a great housewife. I just think she does not need to look up these ladies and their personal information. And second, when it comes to Porsha can't anchor a show. I've said that several times. Porsha cannot anchor a cast, so they need to bring back Candy. If they're gonna bring back anybody for next season, if we're gonna bring back anybody, we always say Kenya and Nene. We can't bring them two in right now. They just can't come in right now. It needs to be Candy Burrs. Candy is close with Shamea. Candy is also close with Porsha, and she's always checked Porsha on her lies. Porsha lies all the time, and she admitted it to Candy Face, and Candy knows that. So I think we need to bring back Candy. And I know people are going.
The big paycheck. Who are we getting rid of?
I know. I know that. That's a big paycheck. And you know who we're gonna get rid of?
Oh.
You know who we're really gonna get rid of?
Oh.
We're gonna get rid of Phaedra because she's not bringing anything that much anyway. We're gonna have to get rid of. We're either gonna get rid of Phaedra, or we're gonna get rid of, we're just gonna make Kelly a friend of one of the two.
That's still. Candy's paycheck is big.
I know it's big.
You would have to get rid of
3 people at least. 3 people.
You have to get rid of 2 newbies.
2, yeah. Dang. And I actually like the newbies. Ooh.
Just saying. Thanks, Makai.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye. I don't think Candy should come back. I feel like that when it comes to what Candy has built for herself, especially now outside of music, outside of this reality TV space, it would be like, why are you going back to reality television? It doesn't make sense to me. But that's me. As a branding conversation, I don't think that would be good. All right, Lovely Day's backstage. Lovely Day, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing this week?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. No, please don't bring back Candy because I'll be driving and I'll fall asleep. Don't do it. Don't do it to me. Congratulations to Porsha for buying her mama a home. Everybody said Porsha don't have no brains, but Porsha obviously know how to maneuver and how to get around and get things done, even though people saying that she's not smart. Okay, whatever. You got Shamea. Girl, you still showing text messages. Haven't you learned your lesson yet? You don't learn. K. Michelle, you flip-flop. You sitting up here talking to Angela about Shamea, then you come into Shamea saying a different thing and all that. You're not giving her the right advice. You're not getting her right advice. And you got the little leprechaun. Girl, stop. If that was your man, you've been showing his face, or else you married to a wimp, or you going with a wimp. You can't show you his face because of your man. Girl, be for real. Ain't nobody falling for that. Probably one of the producers. Probably even her man. And then who want to claim Kelly? Be for real. And then you got that little leprechaun, that Riddler that came from Batman with that green and all them done question marks on, dollar marks on his shirt. He's a joker and he's lying. He about said that stuff, but he thought it wasn't gonna get back to Shamea. He's a liar. And that wife, girl, you was a fool. Didn't you hear when Angela said pre mean before? She said this happened before you, pre you. And then Angela with them little kitty heels, yeah, she read the heck out of Kelly. Kelly, girl, before just be quiet. You just need to be quiet and stop drinking. You have a better life. That's all I got, Kempire.
Thanks, lovely day. Wow. Okay, guys, we're gonna finish off. Kiki's backstage. We're gonna bring Kiki up next. Kiki, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Hi, Kempire. You know, when you said Shamea has lost her senses, honestly, I couldn't agree more. Like, come on, Shamea. And like the previous caller had said, she lacks emotional intelligence. How on earth do you think that that's okay for you to invite Porsha? If I was Shamea and Porsha is obviously giving me the cold shoulder, I'm just gonna face my business and also ignore Porsha back and just do me. But she's desperately trying to seek Portia's attention, Portia's validation in all the wrong ways, and she's giving Portia ammunition towards her, you know. So the best game to play is for her to equally ignore Portia as well, you know. So yeah, and oh my god, like come on, how do you Shamea is cringe. You called it out from the onset. Very cringe. How do you go to your attorney's office dressed like that, like you're going to a strip club? Come on. All right. Have a good day.
Just saying.
Nope. No, thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Kiki. Take care. Y'all don't like that outfit? All right, time's up. All right. Thank you to everyone that called in and shared their thoughts and opinions. And I know you guys will continue to share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. So shout out to the replay crew. Be sure to let us know how you would rate this week's episode from 1 to 10. Let me see how you guys in the live chat rated this week's episode. Let's take a look. Let me refresh. Let me see how you guys would rate this week's episode. Let's see. Okay, not bad. Oh, no, this week's episode did not do well in comparison to last week. With over almost 1,600 votes, you guys rate this episode between a 4 and a 6 with 53% of the vote. Wow. 37% of you rated it between a 7 and a 10. That's interesting. That was a big shift from last week's. Okay. But thank you for everyone that voted. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, those of you watching on Twitch, on Twitter. Make sure you're following us on Patreon. Like I said before, guys, we have our Patreon that we launched, and we've been having a good old time on Patreon. Y'all are missing out. Y'all are missing out on Patreon. Let me just take this down. There we go. Shout out to our King's Guard. Shout out to our channel members. Shout out to our subscribers. We appreciate you guys. You're missing out also on our announcements. So join our mailing list at thekempire.com/join and check out thekempire.com for all the things that you're missing, including our blog. I'll be posting blogs that you won't be able to see anywhere else but there. And of course, we're giving you other stories and whatnot. Go check out thekempire.com. Okay. All right. Again, thank you to our King's Guards for holding us down. I will see you guys next week for our final recap of the season. Real Housewives of Atlanta's season finale airs next weekend. And then I'm sure we're going to get a 3-part reunion. You'll more than likely see me again at some point this week to talk about the Real Housewives of reunion looks. We talked a little bit about them, but I want to see them in, full angles and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. That should be coming out this week, even though it leaked over the weekend. I could make a joke, but I'm not going to. I'm going to move on. We'll save it for Kempire After Dark on September 25th here in New York City. Get your tickets for in-person tickets, meet and greets, and a live stream ticket available worldwide. I will see you all in the next one. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. Where did the weekend go? Where did the month of July go? This is the last week in July. That's crazy. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you all for being here. Bye, y'all.
Here we go now.